Hello, everyone. How's everybody doing?
Oh, I'm here too. Hey.
Oh, yeah. I was wondering how long you're going to be muted. Hopefully, the music's not too loud. Just buying some time right now, giving Miss Parker a little bit of time before she shows up.
Somebody go wake her ass up. She's probably taking a junk nap from this morning.
Right. Oh, I'll turn this down a little bit more. I fucking love this music in this goddamn game. Yeah. Oh,
Project Zomboid.
But yeah, it's good to have you back on. We have BGL here.
It's about damn time. I done fixed 4 cars for your fucking ass, and you just now bringing me back.
Oh yeah. Well, I only brought you back because I need to get my catalytic converter fixed. So
steal all your motherfucking catalytic converters. Just roll them right under. Keep it moving.
Oh, what's up, everybody?
Oh, Nova's here.
Barrow's great to see you.
It's good to see Barrow.
Well, I haven't seen Barrow in a minute. Well, excuse me. I really haven't been streaming a lot.
Yeah, where you been?
It's been busy. Like the past month has been kind of a little bit rough. Nothing like too bad, but it's like that. Yeah, just busy working. Trying to save back up and stuff like that. Because my birthday's not even close yet, but I want to do something. I want to go take another trip. I haven't took a trip since 2019, I believe.
When's your birthday?
The day before Valentine's Day.
My birthday's in November. Come to Vegas with us.
Vegas? I don't gamble though, but I'll go.
I don't gamble either. There's all kinds of stuff to do in Vegas.
I do love the smell of like. How does my schedule look on Wednesday? Oh, hey, actually, I need to get with you, Alan. Yes, I need to get with you, dog, because I actually really do want to do something with you, but I got to work Wednesday. But hey, hit me up. Hit me up after this. We'll try to work something out because I still want you to be. I got some other people, or certain people like for certain things I want to do for certain episodes. I just haven't panned them out yet.
Or got plans for you.
Yeah, because I still got to watch. Hey, yeah, Alan, have you watched the new Lord of the Rings show yet? I haven't watched it yet. I might try to catch up on it today. But I don't know what's been up with you, BGL.
Man, I moved.
Oh, you moved?
I went to see I moved. I left Minneapolis. Adios, Minneapolis. Couldn't do it no more.
Oh yeah, I was like, well, yeah, don't fully dox yourself, but yeah, I was like, shit. You know, there's
It's
only like
too late.
four. You know, there's only like 4 black people in Minnesota.
No, that's not true at all. I can't even go with that joke
Well, 3 now
because I,
because
I
well,
I
my.
accidentally moved from one hood to the other. I went from hood to hood.
Oh yeah, I mean, how you doing? But
Yummy.
damn, man, 7 minutes. This is a 13-minute song. We're not gonna
I
show.
mean, you can stop at any time.
I know. I just like having a
You
little
got all the
background thing.
power.
Yeah, so I just like the little background thing. We'll start up in a little minute. I just want to talk about some. Hey, Buck, man, what's
Plus
going
melanoma.
on? This is another dude I need to have on the show, and I actually have the perfect show for him. I got to work on that though. Shit, I was gonna say something. Oh yeah. So last night when I was at work, we had like a little fucking.
Are you there? Is it me? Oh God, is it me? Is it me? Oh, it's not me. Am I in charge of the show right now? Y'all, should we cancel Tito? Tito had toast stew for dinner. He went to the local ethnic barber shop,
Anybody?
butcher shop.
What?
Oh,
Oh, now it's back. Okay. What the? That was
that was
fucking.
you.
No, I stopped it myself, but yeah, because the thing was just
You
spinning.
stopped yourself.
No, I did. Oh, but it didn't show up on anything else, so it was just my fucking computer. So I just looked stupid for a fucking second.
Oh, I was talking about you.
Well, shit. All right. Well, let me just stop this guy.
Did y'all hear me?
Well, I don't
Oh,
know. They probably didn't hear me, but
no,
anyways,
nobody heard you. But my thing was moving. Did anybody hear me?
I don't know.
I
Well,
don't know.
it is storming outside, so I'm sorry if there's gonna be any like weird like sporadic shit. But usually, I pay way too much internet for this shit. Man. I mean, pay
Tito
too.
lives in the northernmost spot of the United States, of the
Oh,
continent, of the
the only
contiguous
the only black man that live in the UP in Michigan.
UP.
Uh,
Thank you, Olafola.
well, let me correct myself. The only black man that's not in one of the state prisons out there. I don't know why they be shipping motherfuckers out like a nigga be from Detroit and
That's
they be like,
because that's because you escaped, though.
no, they just be like, yeah, they'd be like, a motherfucker be from Detroit. They're like, all right, like you have a whole bunch of unpaid parking tickets. We're sending you to Escanaba. I'm like, what the fuck? Like 8 hours from here. No, but yeah. So, anyways, I guess we'll probably get ready to get started soon. I guess I don't want to hold everybody up because this ain't gonna be too long. But yeah, Miss Parker should be showing up sometime soon.
Yeah, somebody go wake her up.
Yeah, I probably should send her. I should have did that when I was playing the music, but we'll get into it kind of. So we're here today with something that the lovely BGL,
Man,
yeah, I
I
love
came across
BGL,
this and I almost. Woo.
bestowed upon my lap. So if you guys kind of like haven't been around, well, I mean most of you guys have, but if I have some newer people since the first like stream I've ever done, but like for the first 2 to 3 streams, I oh shit, I was talking
Oh,
about a person named Cynthia G, aka Sunitha, because I can't fucking talk, or like what I like to call her, Big Swoop. So
big swoop.
yeah, and I just stopped talking about her for a while because like her arguments and stuff like that was going basically the same. And if you guys don't remember her, she was the one that said about aborting. There she is right here. You can't miss that swoop. Well, and we're gonna start this from the beginning, but this is what we're here for because I was just waiting for the opportunity for
Worlds
Cynthia
to
G
collide.
and Dr. Umar Johnson, 2 people I don't like really, or their views I don't like at all, really, to meet up because I just knew something like this would happen because I know she had some back and forth with like I don't know, maybe I might be wrong. Ta-Nehisi Coates, I think she talked to you about. I know you know more about her than me. So
I don't know who that coach person is.
Ta-Nehisi Coates. Oh yeah, well, a writer.
Is she on this panel?
No, it's
remember, I'm going into this panel black.
No. This is
black and blind.
Yeah, this is if everybody doesn't know about it. I thought it was relatively new, but it's been out since 2020. Fox Soul. This is
Fox does a lot to promote and market Fox Soul.
and I was pretty bummed out because I tried to do like just sort of buy some time real quick before we got into it. I tried to look up I tried to look up the history about Fox Soul because I thought it was gonna be like something like I thought it would be the Black Republican version of those Fox. So I thought we'll just see like Herschel Walker on here with a show called like Bad Chinese Air or some shit like that, and just him rambling with his fucking concussed brain or some shit like that. Or you see fucking Thomas Sowell
Oh
talk
my
about
God.
like how black people in America have no culture because we adopted everything from whites or some shit like that with his big shucking and jiving ass. But no, it's actually not that. Well, I don't know. I haven't really watched a lot of shit about it, but I pulled up the page though because I found it kind of interesting. So if you guys bear with me 1 second, I'm going to show you some of the programming of
Fox Soul.
Fox
Fox
Soul.
Soul, just looking out of the window.
Oh, is that the theme song?
No, I'm just.
Let's hear it again for the people in the back that didn't get that. Fox Soul. But yeah, this is like Fox Soul. We got so it's basically just random black shows. There are like three different there's three different Christian things, but in some of these shows have the worst names. So we have like the Isaiah Factor, Uncensored, Divorce Court, Feed the Night, the Black Report. I was like, man, these guys are not creative with shit. We'll be watching the Business of Being Black with Tammy Mack.
The Business of Being Black.
TGIF. I hate these channels. Or whatever, but this is the N-word town hall. That was random as shit. It's like, but
Wow.
But one channel I found interesting. Does anybody could tell me who this man is? Oh damn, it's taking forever to load. Damn it! Come on.
Internet.
This guy right here.
Is that the guy from Psych?
No, what? No, Burton Guster. No,
yeah,
no, that's not that man. Anybody know who this man is? Right here. His name is Isaiah. It starts with a C. I can't remember. But that is.
Is that Bud?
No, that's the reporter from. Remember, you got a big viral video when the moth flies in that guy's mouth. He's like, "Man, fuck this country ass town." Guys, I got the pollen. My eyes all fucked up. Man, let's get the fuck up out of here. That's that man.
Stop.
Yeah, he got his own show, man. Interviewing the rapper Zero and shit like that. Like, look at this guy.
That's hilarious.
I was like, look at this brother, man. Like, yeah, so we got his own show with like this dude named Sean, like 3 different fucking shows. So, all right, stop sharing. But we'll get into this then. I guess we'll kind of get ready to start this. So this is the Business of Being Black with Tammy Mack.
Alan, I think Fox Soul might as well be spelled. I've got black friends. We've got black channels.
Oh man, I got black friends. The good ones. The
good ones. That's me. I'm losing my good one status.
Yeah, but so this is just a panel, and there's like the war against black men. This is about an hour long. We'll hopefully just kind of go through this pretty quick or whatever. I'm not gonna hold everybody up. You know, it's 9/11. People got to barbecue or some shit like that. I don't know. Anyways, I just want to say, I don't know this woman. I don't know her views or anything like that, but I don't like this woman. It's something about her. It's something about her speech pattern or something like that, or the way she talks that just weirdly annoys me. It seems like an aunt that like one of your aunts that actually went to college and you know probably has like some decent job like a banker or something like that, but yet comes back every Thanksgiving and starts like trying to like shit the family, shit on the family. Then after she got a divorce, she tries to be cool with you or something like that. Like, hey, what are you doing? Listening into your hip hop? I'm like, get away from me, please. But that's about it though. But we're getting into this.
Slavery, many slave.
Oh, if you let me turn this up. If you want me to pause or anything like that, BGL, just let me know if you want to add in on anything.
Yep.
Okay.
Were terrified of their slaves' insurrection and retaliation by the enslaved was perceived as a constant threat. That threat, in their minds, was spearheaded by black men, whom they did their best to humiliate and emasculate as much as they could. When did that physical and psychological warfare against black men end? Or is there a war on black men to this day? The Business of Being Black.
All right. I'm not going to pause every time she says some dumb shit. But
I know why you don't like her. I know why you don't like her.
But
She's she's who Callie wants to be or thinks she is successfully. Like she actually does have at least some sort of like real like career like success. This is who Callie thinks she is. Like you know what I mean? Like if Callie could be on television, she would be on Fox Soul.
This is Callie's final form. I don't even know Callie that much, but
today is the war on black men, or not. Please welcome author and activist Hope Giselle. Hi, Hope.
Yeah, I don't know some of these other people.
Doctor of Clinical Psychology, Dr. Umar Johnson. Hi, Dr.
He's
Umar.
Fake.
Black power.
Radio personality and family advocate Dwan Brown is here. Hi, Dwan.
Hello, hello, hello.
And influencer and YouTuber Cynthia G.
Hey, once again, I can't never diss this woman. Her hair be on fucking point. That swoop right there, killing it, bro. I'm not making fun of her.
Strategically placed every strand.
Yeah, and just how sterile her house is too. Oh man,
the echo, everything.
Oh, you gotta love that echo.
Like she couldn't do anything for that echo. Yeah. She couldn't do anything. She never does anything for the echo.
Actually, strangely, a lot of the I don't want to diss but some of the divestment people that I watch from time to time. Oh, I got a flood warning. But anyways, yes, Buck, this is a Fox channel. But damn, where was I going? I ate an edible.
The echo.
The
echo.
Oh yeah, the echo. A lot of divestment people in that community all have the same audio problems. they're recording in their garage or some shit like that. But yeah, so I should have warned you guys. I'm sorry. About 30 minutes ago, I ate an edible. So
you're always high. We know.
So
you're
it hasn't kicked in yet, but it's starting to. So I mean, hey, don't judge me.
With us,
no, it's just the state of things.
Hey, how are you guys doing? I'm glad to be here again. I'm ready to go.
Let's go then.
With a genuine smile.
I'll do exactly what you tell me to do, and that would be go. Now, this question may seem rather odd and unusual for the title of this show alone in terms of is there a war against black men? But the question is always asked here on the business of being black because, it is the business of being black. So why should black people care if there is a war on black men or not? Cynthia, you kick it off.
God, that's a horrible question.
So I first want to say there is a war on black men by other black men. And for that reason, I do think that we should care. I think that the perception of who's going to war against black men is going to determine where our energy is directed. And I think it's counterproductive to focus on the group of men who are terrorizing the black community simply because they're being bullied. There's no war against them by other people. They're being bullied by other groups of men. So that's why we should care.
Dewan, why should we care as black Americans if there's a war out on your kind, being black men?
We should care because black men are the breadwinners of our society. And what we've seen, especially over the last 50 years, is the jobs that black men specifically take have been taken away to other countries or put back into prison, which has then affected the whole family, which caused the so-called war on black men, like Cynthia G just said, happens when black men fight each other. That happens when the economy is destabilized. And you destabilize the economy through destabilizing the foundation of black men's income to ability to earn income. So that's where the war on black men is right now.
Hope, why should black people care?
We should care simply because when black men are not happy, black women can't thrive. And then the black household and black family is doing flourish. I think that as long as black men feel attacked, they're always going to
somebody was going to do that, Alan.
Where they feel like they have the most power and honestly say so, which is the black family. Oftentimes that energy that we pour into who is doing what to other people is then neglected within our own black men, and then they cannot thrive as fathers, as nurturers, as caretakers, as heads of the household. But they can only do that if we acknowledge that there's a problem outside of us.
Dr. Umar, you, my sir, are a black man. Why should I care about the war being waged?
He squinted his eyes. That motherfucker powering up already.
Oh, shit. Against you.
He's in his mother's
If you care about the future of black people, then you naturally have to care about the destiny of black men. When you look at most of the pathology in the black community today, from black on black crime to single female-headed households,
black men being
to
happy
poor academic outcomes,
liquor
to
folks.
unemployment. Much of that is due to the war against black men. So if we want to survive and thrive as a black family and as a black community, we have to implement solutions for black men.
So Cynthia G says that the war is waged against black men towards black men. So everything that you just listed, Cynthia would suggest that that is the fault of the black man on his own.
And I would disagree with that. All of the problems that black men have were introduced by the white power structure. We do not control the school system. We do not control the criminal justice system. We do not control the economic system. All of the problems that we struggle from were introduced by the white power structure. Black on black crime is a byproduct.
It's
it
crime.
Is a second hand.
Yeah, because
oh my God.
They'll bring that up again a couple times about this black on black crime.
I'm sorry, we're not supposed to be reacting to this stuff. We're like supposed to be laughing, but he's just
well, please go in because I'm gonna have some jokes and stuff like that too. Like, but no, like yeah, because I'm like definitely if you want to jump in and say something, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I'm sick of that shit like black on black. That's going to be a good portion of this, like for the first 10 minutes or something like that, kind of talking about the black on black crime.
He just took the old HVAC unit off the top of the building the other day. Finally.
I was just about to say the same thing. Yeah, he's talking about schools, man. How's that school coming along? Hey, I read it. Oh man, I read one guy's like fucking long fucking thread on Twitter about how mad he was that he gave like $100 to this motherfucker, and he's like, man, where the fuck that school at? Cuz
motherfucker.
Influence of the white power structure against black males: stress, depression, fatherlessness, unemployment, miseducation, lack of economic opportunity. These are the ingredients that contribute to black on black crime. You cannot do an effective and accurate analysis of black on black crime until you first do an effective
why do you think they're on Fox?
Analysis of white on black crime.
Cynthia G, you say what?
I say this is the typical black community's dishonest. I'm going to blame everything on everyone outside of the black community and ignore what black men are choosing to do. The reality of it is the system is not making black men do anything. Whether black men have schools where they can send their boys to is up to them. Whether black
costs money.
Men just choose to educate themselves so that they're qualified for positions that will give them the income they need to support their families, that is on black men. Nobody's forcing black men to walk away from their children. Nobody's forcing black men to murder black women every 5.5 hours. You
usually kill people that's closest to you. That's why. You know, but this is one thing that nobody so far when I watched for 30 minutes, I'm sorry for pausing so much, that they will bring up or whatever as a problem. Capitalism. Nobody will bring it up, and nobody will bring up policies either. This is all going to be about culture and shit like that. Perfect thing for fucking Fox News.
Forcing black men to abandon their children, publicly display how they don't like or care about their children. No one's forcing black men to do anything. And I think it's a great disservice to pretend that someone is forcing black men to do things rather than to put the accountability where it needs to be, which is black men. If they have an issue with the system, they should have addressed it a long time ago. You don't get to complain that you don't have any power in a system that you didn't fight to have power in. You fought for assimilation. You did not fight for equality. That is on you. I think we're making excuses at this point.
Dwan?
And I would like to say,
go ahead, Dr. Umar.
Briefly, that Lyndon Baines Johnson had commissioned a Kerner Commission in 1967-68 to invest.
Was LBJ's middle name Beige? Or was he just saying that as
investigate the cause?
Yes. Lyndon Baines Johnson.
Oh, Baines. I thought you said beige. I was like, excuse me?
Of the 1967 Red Hot Summer. As you know, there were more race riots across America in 1967 than any other year since 1919, led by Newark, New Jersey, and Detroit, Michigan. The Kerner Commission were experts in criminology, sociology, education, politics, and etc. They produced a book that is, I believe, at least 500 pages that details the reasons why those riots took place. And according to the president's own commission, the problems that exist in the black community were created by the white power structure, maintained by the white power structure, and enforced by the white power structure. So Cynthia G's position is totally inaccurate and has been refuted by expert testimony coming from the Kerner Commission itself. And I would also say, good sister, that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated. One of the reasons Dr. King was murdered is because the Kerner Commission was released, which would have gave Dr. King all the ammunition he needed to lead his breadbasket campaign. Even the white power structure admits that the problems Black men face were introduced by the white power structure.
And to go on top of that, to bring further evidence that Dr. Umar, what he's saying is right. We can
Look
go
at her,
back to
she's ready to go.
1967 in South
Oh yeah, she
Central
got
LA.
amped up. Man.
There was one murder. Look it up. There was one murder in South Central LA in about an 18-month period between 1967 and 1968. Why? Because there was adequate resources. UCLA was bringing Black people in for free. When it came down to it, jobs were plentiful. When Black people were adequately resourced, you didn't see Black men killing each other. So when we talk about, this thing that's going on, it's not that anyone is forcing Black men to kill each other. That's not what nobody's saying. There's a cause and effect relationship between everything. And we're talking about having a full cause and effect, full on viewpoint of what's going on. What's the cause? What's the effect? When you live in a violent society that murdered its way to make the country and goes around the world enforcing murder, what's going to happen in that country is similar to what's going to happen outside the country. So we got to look at that. And when we talk about Black men killing each other, it's just a handful at the end of the day.
Yeah, I bet he kind of fucked up on it. He be going like this guy be kind of semi-annoying the shit out of me when that 30 minutes, because sometimes he'll be saying some real shit. Sometimes I'm like, okay.
He was doing well because it is a bigger problem than just Black men kill Black men.
Yeah,
and it's just a couple. That's like,
I'm like, dude,
that's what people say. Now say that shit about Derek Chauvin. Say that shit about Derek Chauvin. Well, it was just 3 cops in Minneapolis.
Yeah,
say that shit about Derek Chauvin.
Like he be so close sometimes, man. Like he be annoying me. I'm like, all right, man, you be saying, oh god damn it.
When Black men interact, 99.9% of the time the interactions are positive or neutral.
Well, then you don't have an argument for the system, because the whole system isn't doing anything to you. It's just a handful of people, right? But I wish we could get out the 1960s and jump into 2022. I feel like this is also another way for Black men to gaslight, because they know they have done absolutely nothing. Even if you are complaining about the system and the Kerner Commission and all of these policies, you failed to do anything about them. It is your failure to address the issue as men that have these problems going on. You can say it's only a handful of Black men killing other Black men, but the reality of it is you don't have the same energy when you're talking about police shootings of Black men. Then you act like the entire police department, every last one in every single state, is doing something to you. But now when it comes to Black men terrorizing the community, making the community unsafe, killing Black men, women, and children, now you want to go to, oh, it's only a few of them. Be that as it may, the bottom line is the issues that Black men are inflicting on the community are issues that we should be focusing on.
I want to get Hope in on this real quick. Hope?
I mean, the fact of the lack of elevation and evolution that we see in these arguments are my biggest issue. Once again, we're back in the 1960s when we should be having, like Sin just said, a current conversation. Currently, Black men are not being held at the fire and said that if you don't provide this, or if you don't show up in this way, we're going to do X, Y, and Z to your family. Y'all just are not showing up. And then when you're
what? Nobody's really explaining. Like, first off, I want to say whatever Sunita G said. That is exactly. Like, she wants to know sometimes about why people think that she's like a super right-leaning person. She's basically said exactly what Tucker Carlson says about Black. Like, if you go back to 2020 and you just see about the BLM marches and stuff like that, that is literally what he just exactly said, roughly or whatever, about stuff like that. But you don't care about it, which people do. It's just not really publicized like that, you know. And once again, that's why I say nobody talks about the main thing. It is fucking poverty and shit like that too. But I mean, old boy still kind of talks about it, but sorry, fucking it up. But then there's like they're not doing X, Y, and Z. I hate like a lot of vagueness. That's why I don't think so that's why I think it's kind of annoying me
asked to be held accountable to these things, you say things like, well, back in this time, and when we tried to do this back in a couple of years ago, half of y'all weren't even around when those things were, put into action. And then when you found out about them, instead of bringing them back to the forefront to see if they would work for you in this day and age, you just talk about what didn't work in the back, on the back end of things. I think that a lot of the times you all find it a lot easier to gaslight us into believing that we're the problem so that you can have more time to figure out what the solution is, but that's not the solution anymore. We figured out that doesn't work, and you trying to buy time in the system is not going to help anybody, and especially not the Black communities that you say that you love.
Before we go to break, hold that thought, Dwan. Before we go to break, I do want to take up for my Black brothers here. The CDC reports that Black men show up in their families more than any other
She
race
might be a lovely person,
in this country. Black men are taking their children to school. Black men are playing sports and doing outside extracurricular activities with their children.
Why did we need a fucking a random shot of this?
More than white men, more than Asian Americans, more than any other ethnicity in this country. But we'll continue to talk about the war being waged against Black men when we return on Business of Being Black with Tammy Mack on Fox Soul. We'll be back.
Pause.
Welcome back to Business of Being Black.
That was a quick ass commercial. What's happening?
I think that Hope chick, when you said show up for what, I think what she's talking about is like the marriage statistics and Black men marrying outside of the race more than any other demographic.
Like 13%. Like, I mean, honestly, like I'm not trying to say something.
I know they make this huge. They make this huge deal out of this number, right? But fewer people are getting married. Period. Like
exactly.
Period. Like everywhere. Overall, like it doesn't matter what your race is. Fewer people are getting married. Period. And I'm confused with this idea that like, are we moving forward in our thoughts and what's a family and what's not a family? Are we regressing to this idea where men want this 1950s? Back in the 1950s, we need to move back there. Like, what is it? What do these women want these Black men to be like?
That's one of the things.
Like, I don't understand it anymore. Like, I used to really like get this stuff, but I don't get it anymore.
That's like the one time I think the last time you were on here when we were talking about her, like me, you, and Yato. That's what I was saying. I was like, it almost seems like, and I'm not trying to put words in Cynthia G's mouth or any of the people that's from there, but it almost seems like they're just upset that like we didn't like really basically change the whole U.S., like break down the whole power structure of it and try to fix it up. And also it's like really at the end of the day with most of these people, well, mainly when it comes down to Dr. Umar and Cynthia G, like this is my personal thing about it. They kind of really don't, like they have no sense of community. Not really. No. Because they don't care about like, every other people. It was like Dr. Umar, mainly black men, meaning Black boys and Black men. Yes. Cynthia G, black women, and maybe a scarce of Black men that meet some fucking weird ass criteria or something like that.
That only she can sense.
Yeah, and that's why I said like
nobody articulate it.
Yeah, and saying nobody's gonna try to really bring up policy that much. Like they will talk, they go back and forth, kind of in this style. And then eventually coming up soon, there will be kind of like some snapping back and forth a little bit. But yeah, let me not
Tammy Mack. I am Tammy Mack in the Business of Being Black today. Yeah, are Black.
Yeah, let's skip that.
Absolutely, yes.
Hope, is there?
No.
Oh, I didn't hear this question.
Absolutely, yes.
Oh, is there
Cynthia
a war?
G, where are you on this?
The only war is the war that Black men are waging against the Black community.
So is that a yes or no?
Yes, there is.
Dewan, if there is a war waging against Black men, do Black men have allies?
No. The only allies we have is our other. I would say we don't have any outside allies as far as any other races. No. The only allies we have are Black women who are on code with Black men.
Because I was about to be real mad. I was about to be real mad. I was about to go ham.
No. Because it's a lot of Black women who are on code. I know I'm married to one. You know, I've been with the same woman for 20 years. So I can preach. I can walk what I preach when it comes down to this. We do have allies, and the allies, the ally is the Black man, woman, and child. With this whole fight between Black men and Black women, it's like the women forgot about the kids. It's like it's this whole war going on, and it's like the kids be damned. You have people like Dr.
You jumped on me there, Dewan. You jumped on me. I don't even know how we got to the kids.
No, because we're all one. Black man, woman, and child.
Are you talking about the kids that Black men abandon and publicly talk about how they don't want those children?
I can't speak for your life, but all I know is my father's always been there for me. My wife's father's always been there for her.
That motherfucker opens up the floodgates right there. That's when the first part of shit talking kind of
I'm there for my wife. My grandparents are there. I have married lineage. I can go back 400 years of marriages. So I don't know.
Be that other may is very well documented.
I was talking. When it comes down to it, there are some men that leave. And we're going to talk about the men that leave. Let's talk about a lot of men that leave because of how they were pushed out by people who were going around trying to get government benefits. Let's talk about that. If he's not there, let's talk about all these single family households that are there because somebody wanted a baby so they can get a check one day and didn't give a damn about who she had that baby with.
See, and this where this nigga be going with the weird shit, man. Like he be bringing up some, I don't know. He
swear
knows
to God, like for every woman who was like, men ain't shit. They be having these babies and walking out on these babies and that. There's a man who's like, bitches ain't shit. They be tricking niggas into having babies so they can just get a chick.
All they would need.
God.
All they need to complete this is a table and everybody have like a Schlitz malt liquor. And this is my family. This is my fucking family right here. Like just like things.
Nova, say it again for the people in the back.
He said it was Jason Whitlock busy. Damn, not Jason Whitlock, man. Oh shit, but yeah, this dude be saying some weird shit.
80% of the women having the sex with the same 20% of men. If you keep in that same loop,
that's a very kind of incel.
I'm gonna need to see the science behind that.
You gotta look in the mirror.
Well, I don't know, Dewan. I mean,
you see her face? She was like, "Wait, what?"
Your points are well taken. I'm just confused on how we go from a war against Black men to women having babies by different men. It's not adding up here. Dr. Umar, help me make the math.
God damn it, woman. Tammy, please.
So
I'm trying to like you, Tammy.
Number one, we have to make sure that we conduct a systems analysis and an institutional assessment. Communities are made up of institutions or the lack thereof. Right. Communities are governed by systems or the lack thereof. Let us be very clear about something. This fratricide, this black on black crime that so many of our brothers are engaging in, let us remember Irish did the same thing. Italians did the same thing. And European Jews did the same thing. And in the 1930s and 1940s, the United States government decided to upgrade them to white status, and in so doing, gave the Italians control of the fire departments in the Black community, gave the Irish control of the police departments in the Black community, and gave the European Jewish immigrants control of the civil service municipal jobs that they still control in many city centers today. The point that I'm making, Tammy, is that America gave Southern European immigrants an economic stimulus package. Before they gave that economic stimulus package to Jews, Irish, and Italians, they were doing the exact same thing Black men are doing today, selling drugs, breaking the law, running in gangs, killing one another. But the government intervened and aided them. The reason Black male pathology is still going on 30, 40, 50 years later is there has been no resolution, there have been no solutions, and there have been no governmental intervention. With that being said, I'm not waiting on the government to solve the problems of Black men. We as Black men have to unite, come together, organize, and solve our own problems. Just because we can admit that the government introduced
there's no historical content. This is Fox.
We can still take full responsibility for ending it ourselves.
Hope, I see you nodding.
Yes, because I feel like when you can name all of these things so eloquently and so beautifully,
socialism is not
going to still fail at being able to do these things after years and years and years and years and years of trying, where do we find a new solution? Because if you can't talk to each other, if the old men are scared of these new boys because they're a lot wilder than y'all were, because they're a lot more buck than y'all were, what ends up happening is I see that a lot of y'all see these young boys, and instead of addressing them, y'all are afraid of them, and so you walk away and say, well, that's their generation's problem. And it can't just be that generation's problem. Like Sin has been continuously saying, if I have to just answer the question with a yes or no, my answer is no, because the war that we're fighting for Black men is the one that Black men are fighting within themselves. themselves? Is it about adjacency to whiteness? Is it about being able to assimilate to that white hand? Or is it really about the freedom of Black men and the Black family and the Black community?
I like that question a lot, Hope. I want to hang on to that question. Dewan, if there is a war against Black men, what exactly is the war?
The war is to disenfranchise Black men economically, because when you destabilize us economically, everything else is going to fall. We can take this back to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which Maslow didn't come up with, but that's who gets credit for it. When you take away food, clothing, and shelter, everything on top is going to crumble. That's just human science.
Not strong.
And what I'm hearing right now is people that are saying, ignore the science, ignore what's been proven for thousands of years, and let's just focus on these Black men. I don't care that everyone else has done it when they were in the same economic situation. I don't care the fact that Black men don't do this when they're sort of stable. Let's ignore all of that stuff.
It's so funny. Alan is really reacting like how I was when I was preview watching this. When you take away the bottom need of the pyramid,
everything else is going to crumble. And with that being done, it's still only a few of us crumbling. It's a whole lot of us winning too.
I agree with that. I want to go ahead, Hope.
I was going to say, but it's at the expense of the Black families that y'all claim to care so much about. I think that what we fail to realize is that when the Black men who do have that platform that are not doing those things get on, the last thing that they're thinking about is the Black adjacency to their family. They want to assimilate to whatever whiteness, whatever white male privilege they get.
All right, that's kind of a blanket statement right there. I'm not going to fully agree with that, though. I get what she's trying to say about something, but that's too much generalization right there.
And that's a large part of the problem. We see this happen when we look at social media, and we're seeing Black men publicly proclaim the idea of loving on everything but a Black woman.
This is where it comes down to. Nobody gives a fuck about policy at all. It's all about social media shit. I mean, but that's what it is now. This is what news is and shit like that now.
And they go around.
It's whatever you're fucking posting.
And they go around and they watch post after post after post of 19-year-old dark-skinned Black boys talking about, oh, I like me a sexy, chunky Latina, sounding like somebody else we know. Talking about, I like a light skin. Talking about, I got a white girl. And that's what they watch all day long. That's their content. That's the content they create. That's the content they talk about. And that's what they think every fucking body else is like. And that's what they think every fucking body else talks about. Or everybody else's struggle is based on, he's just a self-hating Black man. All he wants is to use Black women until he gets someplace financially stable so he can go find a white woman, just like Kanye did, just like this person. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, no, and it's
go get a regular life. Like, go out there and deal with some just like normal ass people, and you know, get some puppies and kittens on your timeline and get that other toxic shit off your timeline, because it's just a handful of people.
Cynthia will call you. Cynthia will say that you're acting like a real mammy right now. How dare you? How dare you be?
I know.
How dare you be like somewhat in the middle or whatever. This is very disturbing conversation. Oh yeah, man. Black Poodle. Hey, first off, Black Poodle. Hey, it's always great to see you. No, it can get worse. I mean, I didn't pull up any other worse streams of either Cynthia G or even Dr. Umar. That's what I kind of wanted Miss Parker here. She's more into Dr. Umar, like knowing, like, especially recently, what he's been doing. Like I listened to him back in the day. Recently. Yeah, I listened to him back in the day a little bit. Or something like that, but yeah, just when their worlds collide, both of them say some more like horrendous shit.
Wanting to have children because their eyes and their hair are going to be looser and more exotic looking. You do not see that as much in an influx of Black women as you do in Black men. So when y'all do get on, then it should be the responsibility of y'all, if y'all really care about this upholding of the Black family, to then come back to the Black communities that you come from and create those Black families and show people.
Dr. Umar, you welcomed us to the show by saying Black Power. Black Power, okay.
God damn it, woman.
Is there some truth to the assimilation that Black men want or perceive to want when it comes to this war being waged against you?
Well, there's definitely some truth to it, but I think that truth is also evident in black women. Black men, many of them may choose to want a white woman, but many black women choose to look like white women. So we have to look at ourselves.
Yep, that's what
we have to recognize that
American
the pathology is not more of one gender than the other. That's the issue I have with conversations that seek to see who is more at fault, the black man or the black woman. It's not about who's more at fault. We rise together or we will perish together. The black man cannot survive without his woman, and the black woman cannot survive without her man. And the issue that I take with my two sisters' narrative is
here
I
we
hear
go.
a lot of criticism. I hear a lot of condemnation, but I don't hear any empowerment. I don't hear any solutions coming from either one of them. It appears as if that there is a hatred towards black men by those sisters. Even when they said, why are we going back to 1960? Let's stay in 2022. That is so immature and irresponsible of a statement. As a psychologist, when a client comes into my office, the first thing I perform is a history on their depression, a history on their suicide, a history on their...
Well, maybe he doesn't have a fucking office.
Well,
he
maybe it's
literally
like how,
works out of his mother's closet.
I was like, maybe it's like how people view church or whatever. Your body's the church. Your body's the office. Wherever you are, it's there with
clients. He does Instagram lives out of his mother's fucking closet in his mother's house. That's how he does his work.
Are you serious?
God.
Like, I never knew that. Like,
I am so dead serious.
Oh shit. Hey, you know what I never realized? I don't know if there's any other Detroit people or whatever out here. He slightly looks like Kwame Kilpatrick. I don't know. Or is that just me?
Anxiety. When you go see the medical doctor, he performs a history. When you go buy a home, they perform a history. When you go purchase an automobile, they perform a history on that automobile.
And then they treat you for your current ailments. Fuck you.
We're supposed to look at it in a vacuum. We're not supposed to put it in a historical context. And with that being said, the language and the narrative that's coming out of the mouth of these two beautiful black women is one that I think the white power structure will endorse, because it totally absolves them of any responsibility for the hell.
If I was sitting on a stage with him and he was talking to me like that, I would physically assault him.
That's what I said to start
talking to me like that.
This brother opened up the floodgates with that one little snapback. You already know he's been powering up. It's like Dragon Ball Z, if you will. He's like the only couple episodes I've ever seen of that show when they're Goku's charging up the spirit bomb. That's why he's been so quiet. He's just getting everybody, all the Pan-Africans and all the fucking Hoteps power right now. Say, please let me slay these beautiful black women or whatever you guys call them.
Hotep Hurricane.
And she hasn't called nobody a dusty yet, or even said by and large. So I feel like I've been right.
By and large, I know. I almost thought she was gonna say, at the end of the day, how's it go? Come on, help me out, chat.
What?
At the end, the bottom line is, at the end of the day.
Oh my god, that shit's goddamn horrible. Man, that was crazy. Like, shout out to Drag though. They actually have that little talk with G-Man again. That brought back some flashbacks right there.
Yes.
He hasn't talked in a minute. I was like, oh man, that's like when I first kind of joined in the YouTube and shit like that. I was like, that almost recharge my love for making fun of Lowe's cows for a minute, because I've been staying away from that shit for a while.
Epic.
Why are we going all the way back to 1960? There is some truth to history when it comes to evaluating anything or anyone. So what do you say to that? Hold that thought. I only got about 30 seconds here, so I don't want you to get into it, because I know you're going to get into it good, sis, and then have to come right back out of it. You understand? So just make sure you understand the question at hand, which is about a person's history. In this particular case, black men's history in America, and why it doesn't matter when it comes to the war being waged against them. We'll talk about that and more when we return on The Business of Being Black with Tammy Mack on Fox Soul. Oh, we'll be back.
So far,
welcome back to Business of Being Black with Tammy Mack. I am Tammy Mack, and the Business of Being Black today is Black men. Is there a war being waged against them? We left off with Dr. Umar talking about how history matters when it comes to the contextual matters of black men having wars waged against them, a war waged against them. So Cynthia G, what do you say to historical context?
I say we should go to the historical context, because what I have not heard from Dr. Umar Johnson, or I think his name is Dwayne, Duan, is what I have not heard as they're mentioning all of the things that was done to them. I haven't heard what you did in response to it. So
what is this them? Like, this is like, it's so funny to me because like, I know they talk like between black men, but black men and black women, like when the shit that happened throughout the historical context, it's happened to black women too. Sometimes even worse or whatever. Like Fannie Lou Hamer got like a Mississippi appendectomy for no reason or whatever, and got her ass beat for trying to fucking vote, like or whatever. Like this shit, like this happened even worse for black women. You know what I'm saying? But even I think they say, was it? Isn't it like some medical books? Like I think because my cousin's a registered nurse. Yeah, saying that black women.
Yep, they still say that. They still say that black people feel pain differently. They're just now starting to teach people that that's not true in medical school.
Yeah, right. Like I don't know if
2022.
I don't know if you ever read any of Ian Fleming's books, the guy who made James Bond or wrote about James Bond, but the one where James Bond goes to like Louisiana or some shit like that. I forgot which one that is. It's the black one with Roger Moore. But anyways, in the book though, he talks about this guy, the guy Ross Kanenge. He's the bad black guy in there, but he talks of his skin is gray or whatever because he talks in the book. He talks for like a little while, talk about like how black people got thicker skin and it's like so he's like so the blood doesn't get out to like to the skin that much, so he looks kind of gray. I was like, wow, that's the weirdest type of racism I think I've ever read. Next to fucking next to what's the other guy? H.P. Lovecraft.
I would like to know, what did you do in response in history other than go to the Supreme Court and petition to have access to the men's women that you're complaining and accusing of disenfranchising you? See, because in the 1960s,
I don't mean to pause again, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't the one that turned around. Like, granted, like a lot of people were going to it, but it was Loving versus Virginia. And that was a black woman with a white man, right? That had that held the 14th Amendment.
I don't know.
Yeah,
and I can't Google it.
I just looked it up. Yep, June 12th, 1967.
So this is where Cynthia will take the liberty of going further back in history that doesn't matter, and now it does. She will go back to the Civil War when black men were going to the Supreme Court to have access to white women. She's done it before. And to answer your question about the injustices that happen to black men also happen to black women, I think, well, this is not an answer per se, but this is just my opinion. I never, ever, ever heard her say anything about what a black woman's responsibility was in all of this. Now, I could be very wrong, because she's got a shit ton of content that I have not watched. But
she's reviewed this twice already, and she's on. I think before I started, she's on another panel reviewing this again. So she's a hard charger. I'll give that to her.
Oh yeah. So I could be very wrong. She could have like, because I don't even. She doesn't consider herself divestment. I think I've heard her say she doesn't consider herself a BWE creator either. She's just on her own or whatever, because she like even recently has even separated herself from Nyla and Taz. But
that was for the what's name reason, right? I'm not gonna bring it up right now because
for the messiness. But I find it really interesting. I kind of feel like she's sort of a save yourself black woman kind of creator, where like all you can do is just get away from black men and everything will be better.
Yes.
Like
that's the vibe I get.
That's your responsibility, is just to, she's kind of like Dennis Sperling, like just get away from black men at all costs.
And no matter what. It's such an interesting way. Hopefully, like I am kind of high right now, so hopefully this connects. But it's a very, like I said, like that save yourself thing, that's a very capitalistic way of thinking, because that's what it is. It's you against everybody else, just like the way she talks about. Like if you do not like just say me, if I only dated black women, but if I was to date outside my race or whatever, I mean, which I would, it just usually depends on where the fuck you live usually,
right?
Yeah, like as soon as I like, oh, you don't love your mother or some shit like that because you disrespect her. I'm like, well, I was like, whatever, I guess. Or like, they'll try to make you feel so bad. Or
I mean, it's one thing
I
to
forgot where I
date.
was going with that.
I really think it's one thing, like if you're like dating a white girl and you just love her, whatever. You're dating an Asian girl and you just love her.
Now when it's
It's a
fetishized,
whole
that's what I
nother,
think they're
yeah.
saying.
There's
Like,
that, and there's a whole nother thing to date somebody outside of your race and be like, well, I don't date black girls because all black women are bitches and all black women are just, they're dirty and they smell bad and they're aggressive. That's what it's like, okay, when you say all black women, do you mean your mom and your grandmother and your sister and your aunt and your cousin and your niece?
oh, absolutely,
and the daughters that you'll be having? Like, that's so those kind of people, whether they're black women who don't date, because black women who think all black men are disgusting, dusty, dirty thieves are just as problematic. Like, and I don't get, like, for me, her attitude about black men is the same as black men who think that way about black women. Like,
oh, it's exactly
she
the
may
same.
as well be Tommy Sotomayor with tits.
Oh my god, I hate that.
Titty Sotomayor.
I hate
Titty
that.
Sotomayor.
Did you say titty soda?
Yeah, Titty Sotomayor. That's what we should call her. Cause
oh, you call her that? That's damn.
Yeah,
that's fucked up.
What's the difference? Like,
Titty
what's the
Sotomayor.
difference between her and Tommy Sotomayor?
Nothing really, because like
Exactly.
honestly, there's what's her name has she has some shit to agree with Dr. Umar. Neither one of them like interracial marriage at all. They don't like miscegenation at fucking all or whatever. But she goes a little bit farther with just saying no, black men are still the problem too. So I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck do you want these black women to do? Either get a girlfriend or shut the fuck up. Like, I don't know what the hell. Like, I don't know what you want these black women to do for that. Then, but I don't know. Like, what kind of random? Tommy sodomizer. Jesus. Sterling's recordings were something. Sterling
or Dennis?
It's what black men were
Sperling
really doing, and it's been documented. Many civil rights leaders have admitted to it. What black men were doing is chasing the white man's woman, trying to so-called stick it to him by way of going to their women. What you should have been doing is trying to get liberation for yourself. What you should have been trying to do is get that foot off your neck. But see, the foot is not on your neck. And the only time you recognize it being on your neck is when you want to get away with doing something that you think white men are getting away with doing. Because let's just be real. Whenever we hear about this war against black men, it's usually being brought up when there's a black man like R. Kelly, Bill Cosby. We see Trey Songz going through it, Ari Spears, when they engage in some degeneracy, and then they're getting a consequence for it. And black men think that because they perceive white men to be getting away with crimes, they want to be able to get away with crimes as well.
This is too much fucking generalization. And then once again, it goes back to what I was saying before. They don't give a fuck about the common person. This is all about posting and celebrity bullshit. I don't give a fuck about Bill Cosby. There's a lot of black and white people. Black, white people, whatever. But man, if we're talking about black community, a lot of motherfuckers that do not fuck with it. Mystical even at this point now, because he has something very charged. But like people are like, damn, whatever. I mean, yeah, there are dumb motherfuckers that are trying to defend like R. Kelly. And I mean, this is a personal thing, my bad, like about running on what's that thing? An anecdote. But yeah, I've seen online or whatever, black women and men defending the fuck out of R. Kelly. Like, oh, that girl knows what she was doing. I'm like, and I look at them like, motherfucker, what? I was like, this man was straight a predator in this movie. But some of these people are dumb and they just like the fucking music and they can't separate the music from the fucking monster that motherfucker was and shit like that. But yeah, there are some dumb people over there, but it's like there's too much generalization saying like, oh, all these black men are defending this month. No, I don't. I mean, I refuse to believe that unless there's something to prove me fucking wrong.
The reality is, Dr. Umar can sit up here and list all the different.
Hey, everybody! All right, so we got a good old ex-Mrs. Petty, right? Oh, you got a divorce now?
I got a divorce.
Oh God, do we have to hear about this?
Yeah, I got a fucking divorce. Half of the reasons because this bitch right here.
Whatever. I ain't got nothing to do with you or your man.
I thought you were Cynthia.
Look, yes, you did.
All right,
Look,
you
my
guys
name
talk.
is-
I'm gonna grab me
How
another beer.
did
My
how
name
did my
is
husband get
my name
Nova's
is
phone number?
Esther
You.
Willingham.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't
Okay.
got
Ain't
nothing
nobody
to
dealing
do
with this.
with Asia Rael
Listen, any
Miller.
named Esther got everything to do with the gossip. Okay. Anybody named Esther is trifling. Let me tell you that. Right? I ain't never met an Esther that I like right now. I tell you right now. Don't nobody like Esther's.
Look here.
Bitch said my name is Esther. Can he have his show? He was over here saying some good things. Tito is too high and drunk to
Well,
be
you should have been
sidetracked.
here on time.
I had things to do, like trying to
What? Were
keep
you
my
stealing
husband.
cigarettes?
Maybe.
How you gonna
As a
sneak diss
matter-
me when I walk to the damn refrigerator? That's some
What are you
rude ass
talking?
shit.
Nobody snuck
That's
diss
all
you.
she do, Tito.
I literally just went. I was like,
Sneak
this.
diss.
I did not
this
sneak
mother-
diss you. I was
This
defending
motherfucker.
you.
She
I
sneak
was
disses you more than DC sneak disses her man.
And I think she called me a nigga. No.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
No, but glad to have you here though. Hopefully
I'm so
everything's
fucking
well. This is
sorry.
it's been a while since I had you on this channel. It's actually really it's really good to see you. Good to see you,
Yay.
talk to you.
It's sex,
Yeah.
I can't see you.
Oh,
Y'all don't know.
I
He's
mean,
so sexy as a motherfucker. He got a long ass chest. Nigga got one of them extra long chests.
long
It's
chest.
Oh,
I got a
yes.
chest. I got a chest you can
chest.
iron on right here.
Yeah. You ain't
Lord,
never
hey,
seen
how
a
you
chest
doing?
like this nigga chest. This is amazing.
Oh
But
my
nah,
god.
nobody wants to see my ugly ass. But anyways, no, I was glad to have you here because now I have my
Hey, Laura.
Cynthia G, not expert, but journeyman, I guess I would say. And I have my Dr. Umar, my Dr. Umar expert over here too, because
Thank you,
I don't know if you caught caught any of it right now. He's actually been kind of tame right now, but actually we're starting to get in the point where it's gonna start ramping up. Ramping up. I'm sorry. I've been watching too much G-Man, so I don't know how to fucking talk anymore.
She shows up right when it's about to get real messy.
Yeah, so it's gonna start picking on up. So I don't know if you caught up at any in the back part, but yeah, it's like you're not missing too much of anything. It's kind of been like a circular argument for a minute.
And the question is there a war on black men?
Yes.
Yes.
That the system is disenfranchising black men and black men in a victim
I
vote.
do not like. I don't know why it's like that. Those little. I don't know what you put them on there on that side. I don't know why I'm not digging that, man.
Okay, it's because it's an old 80s look. That's all. They be bringing that shit back. Atlanta, they love that retro 80s look. That's all.
I don't know if she's in Atlanta. I think she's
all
West
black
Coast.
people are in Atlanta. What are you talking about?
They're in Atlanta or East St. Louis.
Yeah, that's where. What do you mean? That's where black people come from. That's literally where they come from.
Oh, that's where they spawn.
God.
Yeah,
that's where the seed is.
Yeah, and that's like where all the black people pod from. Atlanta. They all come.
Oh, you can't hear anything?
City.
Oh, wait a minute. You can't hear nothing? Anybody else?
I heard the video.
Yeah, I was like, Wilson, all right, I'm gonna try to play the videos. Let me know if you still can't hear anything. Because we only care about Wilson. That's
but the reality is what he cannot tell you is what black men did in response to it, because they did nothing. They laid down and they nested under the skirt of their non-black preferences, and only to complain that whenever they commit a crime, they're not getting off like they did.
So let's find out. Dr. Umar, what have black men done?
Well, number one, again, I think that it is such a shame coming from a psychological perspective that we seek to heal our wounds as a people by relying on unprofessional testimony by individuals who have a vendetta against the opposite gender.
Oh yeah, he's been saying some ironic shit.
The question.
Oh yeah,
he's not answering. No, he's pulling a Umar. He's pulling a Umar.
Oh,
pretty much what he's saying is he's about to pull a Umar. So what he's gonna do, what he's doing is he's like, look, what's sad is that there's a black woman here talking bad about black men, and there are black men talking bad about black women, and I'm very sad about that. That's his argument.
Yeah,
this
like
motherfucker
there really hasn't been no arguments. So far, it's only been Dewan that been kind of close, but been fumbling almost at every attempt when he be making some shit. Oh, he sounds like not shit on anybody's like fucking like political views, kind of or whatever. But yeah, he sounds like kind of like
he's about to shit on your political views.
Yeah, I know, right?
Get out the toilet paper.
But I am a dirty Cuban, so
you can hear a hurt and a pain and a hatred towards black men. We cannot find an effective solution to black male-female relationship issues or the oppression of black men or black women when the people at the table having the conversation have emotional negative, emotional, and pathological interests in the conversation that are not.
Umar, the question wasn't about my emotional state. The question was, what did Black men do in response to their disenfranchisement?
I mean,
yeah, because you're trying to pathologize my emotional state, not knowing that I'm a psychologist too. But what you're not.
Is he really a psychologist? Oh my God.
I mean, he's not a real psychologist, so like we don't
exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, does it really matter? Like, does it matter?
He got a bootleg copy of the DSM-5.
Yeah, like what the fuck is this
conversation?
Wait a
minute, so did he go to college? Did he ever go to college?
This nigga went to a college. Is he a doctor of something? Yes.
No.
Is it psychology? No. He has a degree that allows him to be he can be a counselor at school. That's how far.
Oh, like guidance counselor.
Yeah, he's a guidance counselor type psychologist. He can tell you not to kill yourself.
Imagine him.
That's his level.
Working out of high school, and he's just like telling a whole bunch of white people, "I believe that you need to move to West Virginia and go work in the coal mines." But he's like going to like the white, black people's like, "You need to go to college, brother."
He's man.
Yep.
No, but oh my goodness, both of these people supposed to be psychologists.
That's Umar. That's fucked up. That's not.
He's telling us what Black men do. I believe him.
Cuz eyes looking like mine right now. He's sitting low. He must have ate an edible too.
Get there, Dr. Umar.
Dr. Umar. The fat face.
Man, quickly,
the fat face.
According to Mrs. Cynthia G,
he got that old
Dr. King was assassinated because he was doing nothing. Malcolm X was assassinated because he was doing nothing. Medgar Evers was assassinated because he was doing nothing. Fred Hampton was assassinated because he was doing nothing. That narrative that black men have done nothing.
It always bothers me that he especially brings up me and Martin Luther King and especially Fred Hampton, because this guy is a raging like uber capitalist. Like, so I find it very weird that he always tries to bring up that. I'm like, yeah, you agree with them to a certain point, bro. Like, but I mean, all these people are really, just aiming for more of that money. But
fight back.
It always bothers me when
systemic oppression, not only against ourselves, but against our women, our children, our elders, and our community is absolutely ridiculous. The cemetery is filled with black men, names we know and names we don't know, who gave their life for the freedom, liberation, and emancipation of African people. How can you disrespect the history of so many black men, past and present, who continue to fight? I'm sitting in a school right now that we built with all black money.
That's not a school. First of all, whoa. First of all,
an abandoned building with
where is that school? Where is that school at? What's the school
with
called?
Illegal electric.
I forgot where the Marcus Garvey, Michael Jackson, D.L. Hughley school is.
Exactly.
I don't know where it is exactly.
It's in Connecticut.
But what I do know
Marcus
is
Garvey,
not a motherfucking school.
Not the elementary school. No, that's in Chicago. That's already built.
Yeah, no, he don't have a school. What he has is a building
an abandoned
that's
building.
Not up to code. Okay, no plumbing, no air conditioning. Bitch done got married in a parking lot twice now.
He's supposed to be having a block party today.
No joke.
Oh, today's the block party. Oh, he getting married again, bitch. Listen.
Wait, doesn't he already have 2 wives?
Yeah, he's doing it again. He got 2 more. This motherfucker's out here just a pimping.
He legit went live the other day talking about. Shout out to my ladies.
I swear to God, this creepy ass nigga
this
here. I swear to God.
I only typed in his name, right?
Here spreading syphilis.
I'm telling you, we're gonna find out he got all the diseases. Watch.
I know he does.
It's like,
he looks like he got something.
Look how skinny his head has got.
Yeah, so I pulled up his name. And the first thing that pulls up as soon as you type in Dr. Umar, it says Dr. Umar. Then instantly Google fills in school address. So motherfuckers been looking for this school. They say it's in Wilmington, Delaware. So
Delaware.
That's a very odd place. Is there a lot of black people?
This motherfucker says he's gonna bust people
That's the
in.
only place he could buy.
Yeah. He says he's gonna bust people in from New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia. He claims he's got all these things lined up. He's got illegal electric. There's no running water.
On the back of motherfucker.
He got G-Man. He got G-Man as his contractor.
No, he really does. Like, this motherfucker is siphoning electricity. Like, bitch got generators.
Jacqueline Striblin is his internet provider. Come on, son.
I would say this.
When she finds out,
you know where you
over
go
for him.
You know where you can go, where it's cheaper, and also you would help out a lot more black people, Dr. Umar? Mississippi. That's where the most
He doesn't
concentrated
want to
amount.
help
Yeah.
niggas. What are you talking about? That's
He
Yeah,
wants
that's
people
why.
with
Yeah, I was
money.
gonna say that too. Yeah, I was like, you're not
What's
gonna. He's like,
wrong
he's not gonna
with
get
you?
those poor Negroes or whatever. It's
Nobody
like,
wants to help niggas. No, he just wants to make money.
yeah,
He
that's what I
just
said.
wants
Like,
people. He has smoked up all the money that people have given him.
wait a minute, does he
Nigga's a
smoke?
crackhead. He's
He's
a
a
crackhead.
crack
It's gonna
whore.
come out that he's a straight up crackhead. He got caught in the whole house in the strip club with a pocket full of money and cocaine.
With the
Okay.
pocket
Oh,
full
that
of
just means he's cool.
gold.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like-
This nigga is trifling. He is worse than the pastor. Okay.
He
He's
is.
pulling some deacon moves.
He
That's what he's
is.
doing.
And when he
He's-
gets real mad, he'll tell you, y'all black people ain't shit.
Shit. Yeah,
We
you
got
ain't
a
shit.
school we need to build.
oh, that's
white
the
people-
wildest shit.
You gonna
White
give Quaker
people
Oats all
donate
your money.
White people
He has the same
work
reference of
together
stuff
for
from
$10
like.
million.
He has the same reference for food that G-Man has references for like pop culture because he brings up like the old. You guys still eating your puffed wheat? Oh, like nigga, what? Nobody eats that cereal no more.
You got $7 million for puff wheat cereal, but y'all can't help me build
But
this
y'all
school.
can't help
I
me
want your-
with
I want your,
750,000.
I want your hardtack money. Like nigga, what year? What century do you think this is?
Yeah.
Your hardtack. I need the hard.
No, but I know he lost some weight. But I didn't know that. That's allegedly. Let me just say that Dr. Umar Johnson. This is allegedly right here because don't sue me.
That we're
I'm just
No,
a poor
sue
brother.
me.
going to
I want you to
educate
sue Miss
black men,
Parker.
and
I
it's
think
not
that'd be
easy
hilarious.
to
Sue me.
Hey, you see the hate on his face, man? Could be his own lawyer too.
because there's always black people in your very same community who's fighting against what you're trying to do to help it. But in addition to that, the white power structure is always waving its wand of oppression to try to sabotage anything we do. I think
Still,
Oh
that
my
the
God.
policy
analysis
has been brought
of
up.
White
our
people
women
in the
is
chat,
too
please
overly
put your wands
simplistic,
of
and in
oppression
being
down.
such, it is
Please.
dishonest.
Put your
Oh,
wands
hey,
down.
did you,
Just
did
give
you
us
hear?
5
Did
minutes.
you hear? As soon as he said white people, Allie Dean showed up.
She know what's up. She knows. Allie
It's
Dean
like,
knows where she
you
belongs.
just need her mango, and fucking fit and curvy, and those are like the whitest women I know, right there. That's like they're the Powerpuff Girls of whiteness.
Oh, that's delicious. The Powerpuff Girls of whiteness. I think that was racist as hell, but I'm gonna go with it. Roll with it, family. Roll with it.
They've
thought
done
you
so
were-
much. You've only listed names and not accomplishments.
Yeah.
I can list some
point-
accomplishments. Okay, when it comes down to it, what have black men done since the 60s? We've turned around and we've gotten we're still inventing things, we're still opening up businesses. Here in LA, you got black businesses all around town. It's just that when we open these businesses up, you have a city that these black businesses suddenly catch on fire.
This is when I instantly paused it and I was like, I'm done watching this shit. I was like, where is this nigga going? I was like,
Well, because what he's talking about now we're invoking the Black Wall Street. And yes, is there a time in American history where the KKK was just demolishing all black prosperity? Absolutely. Absolutely. That's a true thing. And it happened for hundreds of years throughout the Americas. Okay. But here's the other true thing.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Now we're sitting here in today. So today, no, we're not burning down black businesses. We're preventing them from flourishing by putting undue taxes on those black owned businesses like they've done in Las Vegas, Nevada. Black owned marijuana businesses are not allowed to get licenses. A lot of people don't know that. These black and brown businesses, we're not allowed to get inside certain industries. Now, there are discriminations happening. What kills me is these old out of date ass niggas would rather have these conversations about shit that's going on 500-600 years ago instead of putting it in the proper context of what's actually happening today. Like, you're just using trigger words. He's bringing this shit up just to invoke that anger, that ancestral anger.
It's all about emotion right here, really, with
Exactly.
this. Like, this is all, like that's what I was saying earlier. Oh, I'm so sorry, BGL. What were you saying?
Well, I was just going to say sorry to do this to you, Tito, but this is the question that Cynthia is asking. What have you done to take down these systems? Like, this is the question she's
that's
asking.
easy.
We're not talking about 500 years,
Hey,
1960s and 1950s, and yes, those things happen. There was a time when the KKK was able to go around and easily burn down black-owned businesses, but now there is a different system that is established that is harming black-owned businesses. What are Black men and women doing about that? Are we running for office? Are we becoming judges? Are we becoming, local, what I can't even politicians? Are we changing the policies? Are we teaching kids? Are we being teachers? Are we walking away from being able to change these systems? And if we're not doing those things, then stop. This is what she's saying. Like, this is what she's saying. But he's not answering the question correctly. Like, I don't know.
No, this is my thing right here, though, and this is for actually all of them. Every one of them think that they can LLC their way out of like not everybody can fucking do that. Like this is a thing. Like that's one thing I hate about especially like Black Twitter or Black social media sometimes, because that's mainly what's being like advertised, even random advertisements. If I ever look at just advertisements like when I don't have my fucking VPN on or some shit like that. And it was like just thinking like, oh, you can run a vending machine business. Oh, you can do this or something. Like a lot of people don't have that shit, especially like some of the Black people to even have like even small capital to even have like that. It's like, but people think that just because you open up a business, you're going to be okay. It's just like, and that's what I said. Like nobody talks about policy at all. That's what I said. Like nobody's gonna question like capitalism. Nobody's gonna question like any like kind of economic thing. They'll gloss over it, like this brother kind of did. But then they always go back down. Oh, it's the family. It always goes back to this weird, almost conservative thing of it's because of this people or this culture or whatever of it. And like and both of them will bring up the past and shit like that, but nobody will fully kind of tie it in or whatever. I believe like I'm making a lot of sense right now, but I am high. So let me know if I'm good.
Same shit I do all the time, nigga.
But yeah, let's get back to what
when it comes down to what's going on right now with one of my cousins and these abatement laws, who's built plenty of properties here in LA, managing it, but because there was some gang activity down the street, a nuisance abatement is about to get all of his properties taken. So when Black men do build things, and we build things on individual basis, you're not going to see an NBC special about what the great Black man built. When Irv Gotti, Suge Knight, and J. Prince tried to put together a distribution, they all got charges the next week. So it's not like we don't build things. When we do build things, something always ends up seeming to happening. And in spite of that, you've seen the most Black business male ownership.
Wait a minute, who talked about Irv Gotti?
Is he talking about a criminal enterprise getting taken down as a bad thing?
Hey, I'm going to say about. I'll say this.
He said that Irv Gotti and Suge Knight have tried to establish businesses, and they were taken down mysteriously by the FBI. Bitch, it wasn't mysterious.
I'm going to say this.
There were no mysterious reasons behind why those men have been taken down.
Oh, I'm in defense of Dewan. I'm going to say this. Is in the taste of 9/11. We didn't have any terrorist attacks. We didn't have any terrorist attacks when BMF was around. That's all I'm saying. And as soon as BMF got taken down, look at all this stuff. We're in more wars. No, I don't know where I was going to tie in with that. I just wanted to make
that's gone up in the last 60 years since the coronavirus. We still doing it. I personally got 3 businesses, so I don't know what you're talking about. I employ young Black men. I've helped thousands of Black children here in South Central LA.
I need to see that video.
So all this Black men ain't doing nothing. Where are you kicking it at?
So how are you? So how are Black men creating all these businesses and still costing the government $50 billion a year?
Hold that thought. I want to get Hope in here real quick, Dr. Umar. I want to get Hope in here because Dr. Umar listed a plethora of Black men that we know, and I'm assuming he listed the ones that we know so that we can identify and all agree that these Black men have done something in terms of the fight for equality in America. How do you feel about those men that he listed, Hope? Have they done anything for the Black community or not?
Most definitely. I would be ignorant to say that they haven't, right? But I think that what we're failing to realize is that when we have this conversation about what Black men have done, the consequences are usually because of white supremacy and the gaze of white folks on us are that the Black
I thought you said the gaze of white folks. Oh, I thought it was I was like, wait, what?
I think gay white people have been oppressing us for years.
I was about to say, this really got hoped up for real. Like, well, the white man hasn't invented homosexuality yet to poison the Black man. Like, wait, what?
That's the kind of conversation I want to have.
You would really like digging into more into Cynthia G then, because that's instantly.
No, I hate Cynthia G. She's a piece of shit, man. I can't do that type of coonery.
That's usually what type of thing. Because if you disagree with your Black man, either you're dusty, you're gay, or it's like everything, and she thrives and she loves. That's one thing I think is very hypocritical about it, though, because like eventually they're gonna bring up what some of the shit that she says about abortion and so that, or she'll be like, "What?" Or she'll be like, "Oh yeah, you black men are killing all these people." I'm like, you openly have streams when a black man is shot or killed, regardless if he's right or wrong. You will damn near have a party about that shit or whatever. And I was like, you can't have it fucking both ways. You're doing the exact same shit. But but both of these people are fucking garbage in my eyes. But yeah,
Titty Sotomayor.
Yeah,
to sustain those things. Jesus. To say that Black women are unappreciative of that, it would be. I think that is the dishonesty, right? The way that Black women show up for the Black community and the Black families, regardless of how we feel about the Black men that we might be interacting with or the Black men that are doing bad things, while still staying here to cultivate the Black men who are.
Oh, she's a trans activist, huh?
To overlook that, to me, is just dishonest. The idea that a lot of you all were raised by grandma and them and auntie them and all of these.
See, this is that generalization bullshit. Let's stop this shit.
Black women that are in community and share space with you and share space with your children, that's being looked over. But also, this isn't, Dr. Umar, you're right. I don't agree with a lot of the stuff that you said, but you're absolutely right. It's not about the idea of who's doing it better or the pissing match of the oppression Olympics amongst Black people, but it's really about working together. The problem is, what I find in working together is that the Black man wants to lead, whether he's acquired the gumption and the knowledge to be able to do so appropriately and effectively or not. The thing about it is, when you're working together, we are a team. You get to lead this portion because you're better at it. I get to lead that portion because I'm better at it. And then we come to a common ground for both of us to succeed. But a lot of the times when we're talking about these succession plans and we're making all of these advocacy movements in order to progress the Black family, the Black man says, listen to me or fail. Right? As if Black women have nothing to contribute to that. And I think that that's where the problem is. That's where the discourse needs to happen, is how do we work together so that Black men understand that we are meant to work side by side and not with me following you with my head down and saying, yes, that's our master. Because that is me being subservient to you in a way that I might not want to do.
No, this was necessary. I'm sorry. This is just a technical thing. We don't need B-roll of this shit.
Hey, it's such an odd conversation to have. And it kills me that so many Black people will fall into this conversation. And it's like, what's the point that you're making? So what we're saying is we're both being objectified and we're fighting with each other about being objectified. Okay, well then let's stop doing that. But then if you say, okay, I don't want to fight, then what's the conversation, I guess, is what I'm trying to figure out. Like, why are we having this conversation and why are we so upset about this?
And I'm not putting words in her. Like, hopefully I'm not putting words in her mouth. But like, from what she was just saying right there, is like, she definitely has a problem with toxic masculinity. I mean, which she should. I mean, like, yeah, and anybody should. But it's just weird that these people are putting a race on it. A lot of people have done that. Like, not just her, like, but a lot of especially in the Black community, like, oh, Black toxic masculinity or Black feminism. I'm like, it's the same shit, kind of. Well, like, they don't have to put a fucking color on it and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, shit. Oh yeah, this conversation is going nowhere. This is why I wanted to play it too. I like to waste your guys' time.
You, especially considering if you do not have the credentials.
Where's the pick budget at, man? God damn. I'm sorry.
The know-how, the wherewithal, or the lived experiences to lead me in a way that I might be better suited to do in this point of our journey. And
Dr.
Black
Umar.
Her skin is on point though, man. That
First of all, I do not endorse any kind of a second-class citizenship role for Black women. I believe Black women have as much to offer as do Black men. So I'm not sure who the Queen is referring to, because I am not a misogynist.
Oh my God, don't talk to me like that. It's so
the Black woman's
disgusting.
position is only to have children and to prepare food. But at the same time, I think Black women have to look at themselves, because although white supremacy has been the greatest enemy of the progress of Black men, you would also have to argue that Black women have probably been the greatest accomplice to supporting the white power structure in the destruction of Black men.
Because I knew it was going there. There's always this weird Black women support white men in racism, and then Black women will be like, oh, Black men support the white man because they want to fuck only white women. Like, bitch, this conversation is dumb. Y'all have been having this conversation for 10 years and it doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. It just sounds like a bunch of colorist ass niggas having a colorist conversation and being sexist about it.
It's literally my family, man. I literally got an aunt though, because both my brothers are married to women that are not Black, or whatever.
Yeah.
But you know, it's like growing up though, it's like, oh, if she can't use your comb, don't bring her home.
Don't bring her ass
or
home. Yeah.
or like they may have
Not
have
even
had like
gonna
a
lie, I
shitty
remember
divorce
that.
or something like that, and they look at you as a child like, you ain't gonna be shit, nigga, or whatever. You're gonna be just like your uncle. Like, bitch, why did we invite you here? I'm like, I came here to get a fucking, I came here to get a juice.
Uncle, nigga.
Like, why are you at our house? I'm like, you ain't gonna be shit. Like, you're here to ask me for $20. I'm 15. I was like,
The conversation we're having right now, where two intelligent Black women have yet to indict white supremacy for the role that they play in the destabilization of the lives of Black men.
So when we come back, we'll find out if the two beautiful sisters who are on the panel will indict white supremacy.
Oh,
when
this
we
is
return
Fox
on the
News,
business
nigga. I know what
Black
this is.
and
I
Black
hate
on
you.
Fox Soul.
oh yeah, it's Fox
This is
Soul.
Fox. I should have known this.
You
was
guys know.
Fox.
You guys know I have to torture you in some type of way, either
You
with a
gotta
weird ass
gotta
music
be-
that I like to find from movies or some shit like that, or
Man.
I have to like I seen this and I seen it was on Fox Soul.
Yes, Fox Soul is some shit.
I got bricked up. I came baskets. I'm sorry. That's that's fucking that's gross. I'm sorry. Please don't record me.
Man. I'm telling everybody, you
Don't
nasty
report
bastard.
me.
But no, I seen this.
I just, can you do
Oh.
one time? Can you say this one time? Say BGL. You're making me hard. Real quick. Can you say that? Can you say that, nigga? Say it. Say it.
BGL, you're making me hard.
There it is, nigga. There it is.
Bricked up over here. No, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry.
Welcome back to the business of being Black with Tammy Mack. I am Tammy Mack, and the business of being Black today.
I hate the title of. I hate the title of
Yeah.
this fucking show.
I'm offended by the title. I am absolutely offended. Being Black with who? Tammy Mack, bitch. That's nah, man. Nah.
Oh,
this is not
man.
okay.
You could have had it. I mean, some of the other shows are named fucking horribly too. The one.
Has there been a war waged against our brothers? Well, please welcome author and activist Hope Chiselle, doctor of clinical
Is it just
psychology.
me, or was like almost everybody's background looks like it could be like either in a lobby or the fucking community part of like a Holiday Inn or some shit like that, or like a fucking
Except for Dr. Umar, because we know that motherfucker's in an abandoned building with
radio
stolen
personality
electricity.
and family advocate
I don't know
Dewan
where this guy
Brown.
is. He's like
and
outside.
influencer and
bathroom.
YouTuber Cynthia G. Well, thank you all for this
I don't know why.
conversation.
Maybe I said that because like hers right here. I was like, that looks like a fucking like the part where you just have random computers at like a fucking DoubleTree somewhere or something like that. I was like, man, like, nobody's eating those apples back there.
So much time
Black
in a
men in
DoubleTree.
America face more obstacles than Black men in other countries. We're going to talk about that. But first, I want to know, is white supremacy responsible for any of the Black man's plight at all?
Bitch, what kind of
Oh,
dumbass
who
question
wrote
is
this?
that?
Who's writing these questions? God damn.
White people on Fox. This is Fox just pandering to Black people. This is their version of BET. So they got all the coons together and they put them on a panel to say,
It
hey, Black
had to
people,
be.
what's it like to be Black? And some white dude from New York or DC or Lord forbid Rhode Island asked this fucking question.
These are Greg Gutfield questions right here. This sounds like him.
What does your hair feel like? That's what I want. I want him to talk about the hair. What is Black hair like? This
is it really like a sponge?
Yeah, like this is the type of Black conversation white people think Black people have.
Is it more than just hair?
Can you tell me what is this thing about booties in the Black community? Yeah, like.
Is it true that the Ankh gives a Black man powers? Like what? Like where are you getting this from?
Let's not
show us
play
what
coy
it's like
here.
when
We
you
understand
take what your mama gave you.
role that
Yeah,
white
what does that
supremacy has
mean?
played. But I think that over time, as we learn the tricks of white supremacy, right, we learn to do better to defeat it. And I find that, especially as Black men, a lot of the time when we're talking about this war on Black men, we fail to realize that Black women are underneath the same scrutiny. Maybe not in the same way, and maybe not for the same reason.
About BET. The guy who created, or they say the creator, quote unquote, of Fox Soul.
Yeah,
he's done a lot of it's a man. I'll pull up his name again. He's done a lot of BET shows.
I'm not surprised.
That's where he came from. They made this about 3 years ago. I watched it. I watched the very first show. Candace Owens did it. Okay.
Oh, was
you
it?
could see. Yeah, they designed.
I thought she was going to be in here.
For Black coons. Oh God, yeah. Oh fuck yeah. Man.
I'm waiting for it because you already know. I'm waiting for Diamond and Silk to have a fucking show on here. I know they got fired from Fox before.
They gonna have
But they gonna boot scoop boogie they ass back over here. Oh man.
But y'all are not going through this alone. And so when you talk about the ways in which Black women have learned to take, you know, what we're given and turn it into glitter and throw it up and make Black girl magic, we wonder why those things are not happening for Black men in the same way. And it's largely because I think that complacency happens. A lot of Black men, not all, are complacent with the idea of being saved by everyone other than themselves. They're okay with the idea of being saved by Black women, white women, women of all other races. They're okay with the idea of being saved by white men who give them the opportunity to come and be a part of this thing that's better than what they are. But what they're not doing is...
I think that's a sneak diss on socialism.
It was. That's exactly. It's a way for her to shit on Black men in general. Like, oh, Black men are just waiting for a white savior. Why would you even go there?
But what's name does the exact same thing.
Presumptuous idea.
Yeah, that's why I say Dr. Umar does the exact same fucking thing.
Yeah,
like that's why I say he's against left, like more left leaning Black Americans, because we're like, oh, you want to. You know, he's like, oh, you think that which does make sense, because if you help out the poor people, it's going to help out Black people. But he's like, oh, but all these people, that's why I said they have no sense of community, because they're thinking about whoever is like their group of people. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say that about Hope, because I really don't know her that much. But that's what it is. Like, somebody's looking out for like Black men, Black women, or some people are just Black people in general, which is kind of not gonna happen or whatever, especially how this country's kind of structured. If it ever did fucking happen, that would be fucking wild. But yeah, that's what I said. They're not really talking about this. They're like, but I don't know what they want us to do. You're still gonna have to work in this power, in this power structure to kind of make it work. But you're trying to do this in an all Black type of way. It's like, even in history, it has not worked out like that, because some people are going to get upset, say it's going to get burned down. And I'm not gonna say all that's going to happen again. I'm sorry, I'm rambling. Let's just play this.
No, you're fine.
Complacent
I did have a
idea
good
of
ass
finding
point I
their
was
own
going to tie into,
solutions, digging their way out of the hole, and having one or two people that are speaking on it with the idea of inclusion or exclusion of certain people within the Black community is also a problem. We cannot build as a Black community if we want to throw out this group of people or throw out that group of people, or tell these people that their opinions are invalid even though they're Black, because they're mixed race or because they're queer or because of all these other, incidences. And I think that those are the things that we have to focus on. The goalposts can't constantly be moved in this conversation whenever Black women start to make a point for the sake of Black men feeling like they need to be able to dismantle that in order to talk about how they've been hurt. We get that. We have to.
Cynthia G, white supremacy, does it exist in your world?
Absolutely.
And has it affected Black men?
Absolutely, it exists. And Black men have worked in tandem with white supremacy since they've become in contact with it. And this is why I say in the Black community, we have very disingenuous, very dishonest discussions, especially when it's regarding Black men, because we do have a Black male worshiping culture. So what we do within that culture, and Umar Johnson is showing it today, is absolve Black men from any accountability for what they've done. Number one, we wouldn't be in a system of white supremacy had it not been for Black men. So if you want to go all the way back to history, then let's go back to history when Black men were selling their own people into white supremacy.
I told you she was going to do that. I told you.
16 years.
Oh, my bad. I didn't even hear what she just said. I'm going to play that back. I was just reading what security monitor just sent me. God damn, that is such a Indiana soft hands fucking thing to fucking say right there. Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna go get a drink. That all bitch. Right. How are you gonna sit here and say that Black men sold people into slavery? How is?
Oh, that's what she said. I missed all that shit.
Yes. How is that somehow part of the conversation today? I don't give a fuck if 700 years ago some nigga in Zimbabwe sold some niggas to some white people from Europe. I don't give a fuck. That was 700 years ago. On top of that, that's a very small population of humans. On top of that, they are not the problem for slavery. The people who have issued the slavery are the problem of slavery. You cannot blame the Black man for systematic racism because he sold some niggas into. Bitch, I will slap your mama.
No, this is the thing I was gonna say right here. Like, no, and I totally agree with that. Oh, she was about to say she was to get something to drink. But no, but like to piggyback on how did I wake up to the most ignorant? Yeah, security. I'm sorry, I just read. I still have it up right now. That is the stupidest shit. Oh my goodness. But damn, I was gonna say something. I keep on reading this thing that security monitor sent me. God damn.
I told you she was gonna do this. Did I not tell you?
This is
she was gonna go further back in history.
Yeah, but this is the shit I don't have. Like, that's to say, this is that Tucker Carlson shit or any type of like really like right leaning person. Like, oh, boy, or even somebody like Veckel or somebody or Jill. But oh, black people stole that Western. I was like, really? I was like, yes, they did. I was like, why did they sell them to it? It's like they didn't. It's almost like selling drugs at that time because that was the drug of their time was slaves. So I was like, they didn't force Europeans to fucking buy slaves. They were in the market to buy slaves. Like I would say, yes, it was a racist thing. Chattel slavery was like it helped. It changed from regular slavery or serfdom or whatever because it was based on race, or whatever. But damn it. But yeah, it's like it's still capitalism. Like they were trying to build a country. They found out, oh, we got this free labor source. We just have to pay these guys a little shillings or whatever the fuck their weird ass currency was back in the day. And they're like, we're gonna get these slaves. They wanted these fucking slaves. Yeah, but don't try to just say it's only black men that fucking did this or whatever. Yes, it did happen a long time ago. Like, what can we do now? And like exactly what you said too, and piggyback what she said. It's like, why are we going all the way back to fucking like 1600s?
I told you.
1500s. Like,
I told you.
Like, you're gonna stop this man from talking about the 60s.
I proudly sit here and say, I told you so. Told you she was gonna do it.
Off the plantation, black men were worried about a war being waged on them. They were worried about getting access to white women. That's what you were worried about. And it's interesting. There's a reason why I feel like Umar focused mostly on
skip from the slave ship
attitudes
to
and
the white women. How you gonna skip from the slave ship to the white women? Okay. Oh, you sold niggas into slavery and all you want to do is fuck white women. What kind of jigaboo Jim Crow bullshit are you spreading? She is literally making black men to sound like the brute characteristic of a fucking minstrel show. How dare you?
I believe that she needs to be the writer of every villain in Tyler Perry movies. Because Tyler Perry can't even write a black man this villainous.
I'm saying.
There's no black man bald enough to be that villainous in a Tyler Perry movie.
No, ain't no nigga bald enough. No.
Oh, shit.
He can't accurately answer the question. He mentioned names, not accomplishments. And the reason being is because
I think he mentioned those names specifically because the accomplishments of those people don't have to be explained.
Right, but those accomplishments are also accomplishments that I've heard Umar Johnson speak negatively about, specifically the civil rights movement and how damaging it was to Black people. But now he wants to sit here and say the very people who accomplished that were accomplishing something beneficial when, in his own opinion, that wasn't beneficial and did more harm to the community than good. So I think that because we're having such a dishonest discussion where Black men don't want to take accountability for what they've done, they want to be the victims of society, but then they want submission from the women.
And this is one of the other things that kind of pissed me off about her, because she says this stuff, and like the first time I ever heard her, she had some random white dude on there that was speaking straight up neo-Nazi talking points. And a lot of people in her chat agreed with the shit that she says. And I'm not saying that like anything like she's fucking a neo-Nazi type thing, but she was shocked when Roe versus Wade got overturned. I was like, you spew the same bullshit that these motherfuckers hate that shit for. I was like, and you're surprised that this shit got taken away, like, or whatever. And then she tries to, but yet still weirdly almost try to blame it on black men though. Like, oh, there's gonna be a lot more murders, but black men are gonna murder a lot more people. Like, stop fucking stop speaking the same talking points as these motherfuckers then.
Exactly.
I was like, what do you think the end goal is going to fucking be? Like, this is the shit that I was saying. Why do you think you're on fucking Fox?
Because they're all a bunch of, that's what I'm trying to tell you. This shit it gets to a point where you start to feel like somebody's fucking with you. It feels like somebody is literally fucking with me. Like, there is no way in hell you bitches really believe this fuck shit. There's no way. Ain't no motherfucking way. Y'all are fucking with me.
It is one of those things, like, you got a homeboy that's like that dumb. You're like, you're fucking with me, right?
With me. There's no way there's no way you're this fucking dumb. You are fucking with me. You gotta be fucking with me.
Ain't no way.
The bottom line is, I'm not willing to deflect from the fact that number one, Black men are the greatest non-white contributors to white supremacy. Let's just be real. White supremacy couldn't even exist without Black men's compliance. They're always uplifting whiteness, biracial children, and trying to assimilate. And that's why
This is the
and
bullshit.
trying to
Here it goes
assimilate.
with the.
I'm
What
sick
do
of your
you
shit,
biracial.
Tito.
We're
I'm sick of
American.
you.
Well, I'm sorry for pausing.
I'm so sick of that word,
No.
assimilation.
You're just
You
black
listen,
man.
you have no choice, motherfucker. We're Americans. There is the idea that there is a black America and a white America is a conversation that's worth having. But ultimately, bitch, we are American. You cannot deny the fact that we are biracial, triracial, okay? We are all the things. All right. We have to have those conversations. And when you're talking about
Uncle
the quote
Tammy.
unquote black community, you can't leave out the biracial people of the black community. You don't all of a sudden stop being black because you're biracial or triracial. Are they not part of the conversation?
Ooh, I got some channels for you then. Ooh.
Yes. As a matter of fact, she does.
Yeah, 'cause
She doesn't
technically,
consider biracial people black. She
me,
considers
Yato are not black.
biracial people biracial. She
It's a new
wants.
race. So biracial is a whole different race.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's like if you ever
Yes.
played Skyrim or some shit like that, like
Yes.
where you can choose like
Stupid shit,
a
man. She's fucking with me. There's no
in
way.
a certain
This bitch is fucking with me.
to a certain degree, I can almost see it not in a hateful sense, but in the sense that a lot of and I'm not biracial, but when I was growing up, my best friend was, and she absolutely experienced not feeling black and not feeling white, just feeling apart from both. And I always assumed that biracial people were just, especially black and white biracial people. Now, I'm not gonna speak to like Hispanic and black because
you don't like them. Understandable.
It's a different conversation because
it's a different conversation.
No, I was just trying to make a joke. I'm sorry.
I always assumed that for me, black and white people were always black people because they didn't have the opportunity to be white. But hearing biracial people say they feel set apart and not necessarily accepted as fully black or fully white makes me think like it's not my choice to put either race on them. Like it's up to them to decide who and what they are.
Exactly. And that's the thing. When you're talking about race, unless you're talking about a census or, trying to categorize something, race is just a construct.
Right.
So that's why it starts to get really confusing. It's like if you're going to say that some people are not invited to this conversation and your only reason for that is because they're biracial, you are going down the slippery slope of racism. Right. Now we're playing this dumb eugenics bullshit. Well, you're not pure enough and you're not this enough. Right. That conversation is stupid, where the conversation is, I'm going to be treated a certain way based on the way I look. Based on the way I present myself to the world, this is what's going to happen to me, regardless of how I have to mark my census, regardless of how my doctor has to treat me behind closed doors. There is a way that the world is going to look at me. And what she's doing is she's having the conversation literally from a KKK book, a KKK talking point book, saying black men are monsters. They want to rape white women. Black men are the reason why white men are racist because reasons. Like you're literally destroying your own community from the inside out, not realizing it, and then still saying it's the black man's fault.
That's where you're wrong though, because she's not any type of black woman. They're that special. They're that special
she's
kind.
A unicorn.
She's
fucking
definitely
pick me, nigga.
She's definitely separated herself from other black people. I mean, especially black women that defend black men. I'm not saying that like stuff like that, but even if they're in the middle, like in the chat, like she be pulling some numbers in her viewers and shit like that. But in that chat, it's fucking wild. Oh yeah, can you guys check the private chat real quick? But I'm gonna play this.
I went back to the notion of the only time black men truly feel like there's a war against them is when they feel like they're being punished for something white men do. At the end of the day, y'all dropped the ball. You're blaming white supremacy on your failures. We already know there's oppression, but black women are double oppressed. We have more barriers to face. You have male privilege in a patriarchal system and you can't even get it right.
Well, in America, I believe that kind of the racial hierarchy is more than the fucking
greater than patriarchy.
Yeah, patriarchy. I would honestly say. But
Dr. Umar, I think we all know your stance on interracial marriages.
Absolutely. But let me also
so please acknowledge what the rest of what Cynthia G has said.
Absolutely. I'm not sure where Sister Cynthia took history class, but if you know anything about the transatlantic slave trade was a European enterprise. It was
I'm
not
talking about the sub-Saharan. I'm talking about the sub-Saharan slave trade. You should go look into it.
Oh my God.
Excuse me.
You address me.
May I finish?
Hold on. Ghana is south of the Sahara. So, I mean, they're both agreeing on the same thing.
Yeah, they're just fighting because they're being contrarians to each other. They just can't give it to each other. That's all this is. I can't let you have this.
May I finish?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry about that. I don't mean to be interrupting you.
May I finish? Let me stop.
Black queens over here.
Oh my God, call me that again on such shit.
I mean, usually I pay extra for something like that type of action.
Look into the sub-Saharan slave trade where black men were trading their women and children for alcohol.
Oh, community post? All right.
May I finish?
Go ahead, Dr. Omar.
May I finish?
The transatlantic slave trade was a European enterprise. It was not an African enterprise. Although there were some chiefs who participated in it, by no means did they control the direction and extension of the transatlantic slave trade. So that's number one. Number two, black men resisted enslavement, not only on the shores of Africa, but right here in America. We celebrate Nat Turner, Denmark Vesey, Gabriel Prosser. There's literally hundreds
get all the names.
Documented attempts by
Africans the opportunity to say this shit.
The women in their children right here, like we just sat there and we're complicit in our own oppression. It's absolutely ridiculous. The other point I want to clarify for your information, Cynthia G, you've never ever heard me condemn the civil rights movement. The good Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is a hero of mine, and despite me being
isn't he related to like Frederick Douglass or some shit like that? He always says
no, he is not. He is an ancestor. He claims to be related. What we found out is he's like a 17th removed cousin. So he is an ancestor. He is not direct bloodline, but he could go to the family reunion. He would be able to get a T-shirt. Is pretty much. And
he tried to say that Harriet Tubman and Frederick Douglass were related because they lived like 3 counties away from each other. So they must be related because of proximity. So he's related to Harriet Tubman too.
Yeah, Elvis was related to Chubby Checker.
Yeah, you didn't know that. That's how he learned how to play and dance and shit.
But, I mean to interrupt. I'm sorry, but yeah, we got Alan in here. I want everybody to say what's up to Alan.
Hey, sorry, I was just barely coming in, but I just wanted to quickly kind of backtrack a little bit. You mentioned how Cynthia. So she was really surprised that Roe versus Wade got turned over, and she was mad about that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, bitch, that's what you get for hanging out with the right wing. What do you expect? Like you're. I'm sorry, I'm gonna say you're their token strong, educated black woman for the conservative movement, just like Candace Owens is their token black girl. Like Milo was a token gay guy for conservatism. Like Blair White, that fucking bitch, is the token trans woman for conservatives. Like, what the fuck did you expect? And now here she is. Earlier, she was putting at Omar, and this is what's bothering me about this conversation is like every single one of them has said something I slightly agree with, but then they say something just completely like ew. Like Cynthia, she said to him like, we live in a patriarchy. I'm like, yeah, there's definitely some patriarchal barriers in this country, but she's also going off on this ethno-nationalistic bullshit. So it's like, fuck me, dude. These people, they're going in directions I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Where are you taking this now? Like, this is Tito. This is genius of you. You're fucking with our heads right now.
I'm sorry about that.
He does this shit on purpose. He's an asshole. Is what it is.
Why I couldn't even finish watching like all of it, even by myself, because I was like, oh man, I'm gonna try to take notes and do all this shit. And I was just like you. I'm like, okay, somebody says, and then me like, what the fuck? Like this is like, it's like the
because you hate us. That's what this is. You fucking hate us.
Yeah, I mean, like the stream, you guys.
Exactly.
No, I'm just joking.
More this riveting content.
Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no! Well, another thing I liked earlier. What's her name? Hope said that an issue in the black community. This was something I actually covered in my G-Man video. Is that within the black community? And I've noticed this. I can say this as a Mexican. In the Hispanic communities, there's that exclusion of people for being different, for being biracial, or she even said it queer. I'm like, wait a second. So you're all about including people who are different. But earlier in the conversation, she was bitching about like black men not wanting to step up. They just want to go with their white women. I'm like, what's the fucking narrative here? Do you want ethno-nationalism enforced, or do you want biracial and different people included? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like that is kind of like that's what I say. Like it gets so weird sometimes. Like when you meet some people like that, it's like, do you still want like exception for like LGBTQ community, but only if they're black? Like like that's it makes no sense.
Just only if they're black.
Yeah,
like,
only if they're black.
Oh shit! Roadhouse is on Netflix. I gotta get Netflix again.
Roadhouse.
I think I know. I think I know what movie review I'm gonna do with Buck now. Fuck! I forgot we talk about Roadhouse a lot. That's man, that brings back some old memories. I'm sorry. All right, let's go. Yeah, but like you're more than welcome to stay, Alan, if you want.
Sure.
Yeah, so we got a little bit.
I'll move forward and see what's going on with this and torment myself.
It's about to get really good.
King's accomplishment. The civil rights movement was necessary because it removed a psychological scar that suggested of racial inferiority. So you've never heard me deride the civil rights movement. I support it, although I took certain issues with it. The bottom line is when black women, black girls, black boys listen to this conversation we're having today, they're going to be confused because they hear two brothers speaking of a greater context to the problems that affect black men, and you hear two intelligent, beautiful black women who want to keep scapegoating black men while ignoring the historical and contemporary systemic challenges that are constantly placed in our way. I'm going to say this and be quiet, Sister Tammy. I got to give you this. There was a recent piece of research, Tammy, that came out. And the research said a black man with a master's degree, they did a study. They had white males who had come out of prison apply for jobs. They had black men with master's degrees, Sister Tammy, apply for the jobs. And guess what? The white males with prison history and no education were called back more than 75% of the time than black men with no prison history and a master's degree.
I'm aware of that. I am aware of that of that survey. I am. Hope, I saw you give Dr. Umar the side eye.
It's only because
her voice is literal
earring on the internet, but I know for a fact that one of the things that I was offended about in doing research or just seeing you on the internet is that you have definitely talked about your disdain for some of the practices.
Oh shit, he must be back. This nigga came back and just said, "Fuck y'all niggas."
I was talking. My bad. I forgot I muted.
Dude, that lady is. Oh, her voice is so shrill. She reminds me of what's the name of that broad that fucking Popeye's always trying to get with?
Olive oil.
Yeah, except olive oil is actually somewhat lovable. This bitch isn't.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought you meant the Popeye's chicken lady.
That is fucked up. Oh, nigga,
my chicken.
I thought I'm hungry. I'm sorry. Hey, I ain't gonna lie though. Like, hey, all right, this is a little side story, real quick. So, when I was still living in Mississippi, this was several years ago, I was dating this one girl, and she came up with one of those hypothetical questions, like, "Hey, if you what famous person would you sleep with or whatever?" And I asked her first, I was like, "I don't know, who would you go with?" And she said somebody, I don't know, like Matthew McConaughey or something like that. And I was like, "All right, respect." And she's like, "What about you?" I was like, "Me?" I was like, "My standards." I was like, "I'm realistic." I was like, "Shit, all I need is like the Popeye's chicken lady. I'm good."
Oh my god!
Your fantasy celebrity woman is the Popeye's
chicken lady.
I mean, you give me a 3-piece with a large red beans and rice and some fries.
Oh god, not the red beans and rice. Oh.
I mean, it's not great.
This nigga is trifling, y'all. I just want you to know this nigga is
trifling.
All he wants is chicken. We are over here trying to have an educated conversation about race relations in America, and this nigga's like chicken.
This is why there's a war on the black man. This right here, Tito is the reason.
All right, listen to me, my beautiful black sisters and my Latino tan friend. Now listen to me. Now, who put these Popeye's chickens in my neighborhood?
The white man.
I know he's trying to hold me down. He'll say these intelligent, beautiful, like he says intelligent, like he's trying to get out of the way, but he says beautiful, which basically rings to me like he wants to fuck him.
No, he probably does.
Well,
he's looking at wife
the
5
way
and
he
6.
grips all women. That's just the way he talks to women in general. It's always, "Oh, my beautiful black sisters." And,
wouldn't it be great? It would be the best ending if they got married.
He tries to say intelligent to try to like say not racist, I acknowledge that you're, not a piece of meat. That's like
it's the compliment sandwich.
It's a virtue signal within it, is what you're doing. You're like, I'm gonna fucking express how hot I think you are. You're an object to me, but I'm gonna virtue signal to make sure no one thinks I'm seeing you as an object. It's so obvious. It's like a person yelling, "Not racist, not sexist." Like, yeah, sure.
Yep.
Or masturbating and screaming out loud, "Rape is bad."
I'm gonna say it in that accent again.
Rape is bad.
Oh my god!
I didn't know Boss Hogg got so fucking like pro the anti.
This is the only person I know of who will make rape jokes besides me.
Yeah, let me throw my hat.
They're
down
hard to do, so I do try every once in a while to do it. They're very hard to pull off.
I just watched Meat Canyon.
Oh man, Meat Canyon, that's something else.
Of Dr. Martin Luther King. So to sit here and gaslight
God damn, her fucking skin.
most of us
What
have
is her
not
skin
been
like?
True. Find the clip.
That melanin, man.
Well,
Find
Dr.
the clip.
Omar, you yourself
Find
said
the
you
clip.
had you yourself just seconds ago said you did find some things in the civil rights movement problematic.
Ron,
I
you still alive
supported
there?
the
Oh, yeah,
movement,
he is.
and I still support it.
Why is his mouth open?
Everyone supported
every
it.
time I'm in Atlanta. Nobody. I have never been
as a
dismissive
black man,
of the
as a
civil.
black person in
If we're
America.
going to have the conversation, let us be honest. Let's not misrepresent.
You're the only one not being honest, Umar. You're not being honest.
If we
Find the clip. We don't have to argue
Oh,
about
pull
it.
the
You don't have to
genie.
argue about it.
Show me a clip.
You just admitted to it. We don't need
Well,
to.
there's 60 seconds left on the
I
60
gotta-
seconds left on this segment. We won't be able to find the clip on this show.
Find the clip.
But Hope, finish. Hope.
Essentially, whether we find the clip or not, we know that those things have been said, and you know that you've said controversial things. Once again, we see you moving the goalpost when you find that.
Controversial according to who?
We find, once again, because my thing is you and Cynthia can have that dynamic, but I give you the space to speak. I've given everybody that space to speak, so please don't interrupt me. At the end of the day, I
You
think
interrupted me as well.
God damn it, just fucking.
I did not.
Jesus,
Yes,
stop being children.
And so once again, here we go in a space where Black women are making a point. It's more important to the
It's
Black
not about you being a woman. It was about you being incorrect.
when
It has
Black
nothing to
women
do
are
with you
You're
being
not
a woman. I
incorrect.
respect
It's
you.
more
You were
important to
incorrect.
Show your ass,
And
Umar.
You were
Show your
incorrect.
ass.
I didn't have an issue with a woman.
And
You were
omitting facts.
incorrect.
Well, let's all breathe in, breathe out, and I'll take a
It's not about
commercial
her
break.
being a
All
woman.
right,
She said something that was
we'll take a
untrue.
commercial break.
He's
and
not
come right back
incorrect.
to wrap
Tammy,
this
you
up
losing
on
them.
the business of being black.
They
with
hate
Tammy Mack.
black men. That's the problem. They hate.
Welcome back to Business of Being Black with Tammy Mack. I am.
Okay,
She
Tammy's
is a
voice.
terrible moderator.
Yeah,
And when
she
you
is
have
pulling his
2.5
teeth with
cows
right now.
on your show, you need to mute some mics, Tammy Boo.
Fucking
Oh,
yeah.
Why is
whenever I
he
hear
sucking
people
Umar's
say-
dick like that?
I don't know. Well,
Because he's the biggest person in the
Well,
room. He's
yeah.
got the most clout.
Really,
Let
like,
him walk off
I'm
the
not
show. He ain't got no
I'm-
fucking clout.
Out of everybody on that panel, he's got the yeah. He's the only one actually out here grifting niggas. He's building a
Look.
school. You know.
Look,
not
I
too
bet you,
familiar with Omar.
Cynthia gets a bigger YouTube check than Umar does.
Oh, guaranteed.
I'm assuming I don't know too much about Umar, but is it safe for me to assume that he's far right?
he kind of is, yeah. Actually, really, both of them are, like they
that-
share because he's
Yeah,
very.
they're all conservative.
Yeah,
All these
I
black
know they're all
people are
conservative.
conservative.
No, but
I'm
no,
asking,
he
like,
is kind of
furthest
because
to
he's
right.
very like it's like he's very kind of hotepish and stuff like that. And they like I don't believe he's like fully hotep, like believes in like female genital mutilation and shit like that. But
No, he yeah.
But he's very like super like like their what they think their core values are. Probably the
Very
woman at home,
socially conservative. Very,
Yeah.
very
Yeah, they're all
Okay, well then-
conservatives. All
well, I know
these
that-
are
okay,
these
Umar
are
is
black
not a hotep.
Republican.
Umar is a scam artist. Umar is
Sure.
broke. Umar lives with his mother. Umar is nothing but a bum ass dusty Negro.
he must owe you some money or something like that because you really
Be that
don't
as
understand.
it be
I'm
that
sorry.
as it
What?
may, the answer to your question as to why she's sucking his dick so much is because he is the most conservative person here. He's the furthest on the right, and within conservative circles, not all, but in most conservative circles, the more conservative you are, the more mighty you are, the more right you are. Might makes right. That's kind of the conservative mindset.
Yeah.
Conservatism
I mean-
is obsessed with leadership.
Cynthia can be way more right than him. She's kind of actually reining it back right now, though. Like I actually,
That's a weird thing.
He really
if
is.
it was them, honestly, if it was just them two, which I think that the show really was, but I think somebody's like, all right, we got to add 2 more people to probably like, break down like the back and forth because they could probably go if like, especially how Miss Mac over here, Miss Mary Mac. Fucking man, that was a dad joke. But anyways, fucking I'm ashamed of myself. Just let's play this.
No
video.
worries.
I just stopped.
What I was going to say real quick is, well, first of all, Tammy Mac, to hear your shrill SA sounding voice telling me to calm down and take a breather, no, that doesn't work. That just made me stress out even more. But second, it's funny you mentioned how Cynthia's it sounds like Cynthia's more politically right, whereas Omar's more socially right. I've noticed this on Fox News and in other conservative circles. Like, these women will be all for like conservatism and like traditional values, fuck feminism. But the moment they have like a sexist conservative there, all of a sudden they go like, you're a sexist route, the patriarchy route. Like, they'll go down that route. It's just so interesting to me. I see it all the time on Fox News with conservative women. And it's like, when are you going to fucking realize that at least the Fox News brand of conservatism, I don't want to oversimplify things, is not in women's best interest.
Yes, exactly.
Like, wake the fuck
conservative
up.
values
Jesus.
aren't for women. Conservative values are for men who want to control women.
Yeah, exactly. No, I fully agree with both of you guys. And we'll be right back. No, this is
my ovaries.
Oh my god. I'm sorry. I just wanted to say that real quick. And we'll be right back. Hello, welcome back. What's
Tammy Mack, and the business of being black today is there a war being waged against black men? Dr. Umar is getting it a little bit because he says the ladies are lying on him. And I suggest that you run through and roll through every interview and clip that Dr. Umar has to find the clip, as he would say. One thing I agree with you on, Dr. Umar, is a lot of times when we have these conversations, we start comparing black women to black men, and we tear one down in order to make the other's point. And oftentimes when I have these debates on the business of being black, I notice that is often the debate, to break the other person down rather than build them up. But I do want to do some comparative questioning right here. Do black men face more obstacos than black women? Dwan.
That's an impossible conversation.
I don't want to put it in more or less. We face different obstacles. But at the end of the day, this is what we can say is true. Black women have a safety net that black men don't have.
God damn
welfare.
All right.
Yeah, he's gonna say it. Let him say it. Let him say welfare. Let that bitch say welfare.
He always starts out strong. Like, he always starts out strong. Like, he's almost about
I don't want to say that they're different, but we know that white people love giving black women welfare checks and their government cheese.
They won't talk about how to change the funding or how this shit is allocated or even like that to help out these people, even though more white people are on welfare than black people. But anyways, I was just saying, like, not to help these people or, to try to help that to build like whatever the nuclear family, because they think that just having a nuclear family is going to solve every fucking problem for some goddamn reason. But like, they won't say anything about that. But all right, let's just see what watch him fumble.
If a black man loses his job, like earlier, what they're talking about earlier, black men have no accountability.
G-Man,
what if a black man don't pay child support? He gets his license taken away.
I thought it was tripping. I was like,
taken away.
I literally thought it was tripping. I was like, where did I hear this from? I almost thought I had a deja vu type thing.
D-Man, that was literally word for what G-Man was saying. When a man does, this is G-Man's talking point, which is like, you are too chunky and fat and cute to be talking like G-Man. I'm gonna need him to stop.
Well, he definitely takes better care of himself than G-Man. That's the sad thing. Despite him being overweight, I think he takes better care of himself than G-Man does.
Oh, chunky butt over here looking like bizarre.
Don't talk to him. You're talking to him like he's a toddler. So like you want to pinch his cheeks.
That's what fat. Okay, so fat black men and fat Hispanic men. No bullshit. Fat Hispanic men, fat black men, when they're fat and they happen to be cute, they all look like toddlers.
I don't know
they
why
just look like big fat babies.
I don't know why you're infantilizing Dragon from 10 years right here. But I mean, you should
infantilize.
Drag will never have a forehead so
Drag
smooth.
could never be infantilized. Drag was the meanest baby ever. Can you imagine?
Drag probably came out like at 25 pounds and like 3'5". He was born with shoes
came
on,
out wearing glasses,
smoking a cigarette.
Fuck that nigga.
His feet were probably nasty when he was born right out already.
He born with a lap.
I want him to remember that I said it. Fuck you, Drag. Remember, I said it. That was me.
So there's accountability there.
Oh yeah, my channel's way too small. I don't want to be. I can't deal with Dragnot right now.
You think your channel's small? Holy shit! I only got 33 subs.
Really? Man, you guys better subscribe. Hey man, throw your link in the
I'm one
chat
of
so I
them.
can pin it. Yeah, because I'm one of them too. Throw your link in the chats, man. You guys subscribe to good old Alan here.
All right.
Good Alan.
If you like lolcow shit and dirty shit every now and then, that's what my channel content consists of.
I was just
There
telling.
ends my show.
I was just in the dispensary before the show started, and I was telling people about and that's what I say I need to share out your information because there was big Lord of the Rings fans because one of the strands of weed I bought was called Second Breakfast, so we were talking about Lord of the Rings fans, and I told him about I was like, man, I got a friend that's really into Lord of the Rings, and I was and I started telling him about you just did that unboxing video. And everything's like, man, I might need to see that. So I was like, I might have to go over there tomorrow and show them your video and all that shit like that. I was telling them about the model, the models and stuff that you have and shit.
Yeah, the statue's not supposed to arrive till Wednesday. I don't know what hour, so I just put 7 p.m. That's Pacific time though, so I don't know how that's gonna work. But we'll see.
When are y'all gonna talk about the white people's problems?
We have to do it every day.
We are the white people's problems, Buck. We are their problems.
Well, yeah, we will, because the fucking Queen of England died because the new Lord of the Rings show had a black elf.
No, that's not like she died. You obviously were not watching the Gale show. We know exactly how the Queen died. You weren't watching.
You know, may I make a quick comment about the black elf thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
I overall think it's kind of dumb, but it doesn't bother me. What I mean is, like,
I'm sorry.
What I mean is, it's okay. It's your channel. You're allowing me to speak, so thank you. The thing is, I get that you want to have representation. That doesn't bother me. There's already representation in Tolkien's universe. The Haradrim, the people from the south that rode the giant elephants, and your crowd just went away. But I think what Amazon but this takes place during the Second Age of Middle Earth, where there's Numenor, a kingdom that's known for sailing between haven and haven. So naturally, races are going to mix, going on these ships, right?
Yeah.
So you can easily make up a Haradrim character that's on the good side. But I think what Amazon is doing is saying, well, that would actually require us to actually write and actually do things that's complicated. And the Haradrim are on the side of Sauron, like their military at least. So fuck it. We're just going to make elves and dwarves black, which I don't mind it. I think it's kind of silly because they are described as being fair-skinned, but is it saying I'm going to lose my shit over like fucking Dave, Lord of Patriarchy does? No.
Exactly.
So
it's like, does it really matter if they're fucking black or not? Like, they're fucking elves, goddamn.
Well, they do have a description. There's a canon description, but I think it's a bad sign to me. It says, this is taking place during Numenor's height of its, kingdom, where different races would mix. You can write something about the Haradrim, but they're not doing that. So I think it's just lazy writing. But,
no, and I probably totally agree with that too. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No. All I'm going to say in short is, like, I hate the people who are saying it's, fuck the canon. I don't agree with that. But I also don't like the people who are saying if you don't follow the canon to a T, you're, some SJW Marxist that's trying to destroy European mythology. No, it's silly. So I don't really want to participate in the argument with this, to be all honest, as a Lord of the Rings fan. That's all.
Yeah, and that was we'll get more into that in a little while, probably even afterwards. Because there's something I probably want to ask you and stuff like that, or like probably for some potential content later. Oh shit, I really thought Yato popped up. I was like,
I got you. Don't even trip.
I was like, where does this nigga show up at? I was like, but yeah, let's get back into this real quick because we don't have that too much left.
Comes down to when a black man messes up, he's going to go to prison far longer than anyone of any other.
No, wait a minute. All right. Well, before I pause, it was strange. Nobody brought up the war on drugs. That literally deleted like a generation of like black fathers and shit like that, and young black men.
That would make too much sense, honey. Shut up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Than the race of any other sex. So we have the most extreme consequences. But when it comes to a safety net for when we mess up, when we're down in our life, there are no programs for black men. You can't go through the government and say, hey, if the black men with children, here are this list of programs that only men can get. But it's a whole lot of stuff out there.
This is a manosphere.
So what's happening, what I'm seeing right here is a lot of lies being told, but
that's absolutely not true. Families with children are just that, just families with children. Now, like private programs, it is hard to find programs for fathers with children. Like, I worked for a transitional housing program, and it was supposed to be for homeless families with children, but my boss would not let fathers with children in because it was all single moms, and she did not want a single man in the building, which I thought was real messed up because there's
liability, unfortunately. So when just like we have a shelter here, the only family shelter we have in Las Vegas is a woman's shelter.
This was just a regular old apartment building. This was an apartment building. She wouldn't rent an apartment to a man with children because it was an apartment. But it was weird because there were like regular apartments and she would rent to single men, but she wouldn't let a single man into the transitional housing program part of it, which was, I thought, fucked up. But I was just the receptionist of the program and my boss was a lizard person. But anyway, sorry, security monitor lizard. You're different.
What?
You're one of the
security monitor lizard.
Because he's a lizard person.
My boss is a lizard person.
You call him lizard person. Oh yeah, I was like, wait a minute, what? Like, where did you? I thought I was gonna say I missed that disc. Like, what did you fucking say that?
But as far as public programs, if you are a homeless person with children and you have a penis, you can go get those programs. They are not designated for women only. He's full of shit. This idea that welfare is for women only is so ridiculous.
I think
that's a male pride issue, and that's a you problem. That's not, if you're too proud to go get help to feed your children because you're homeless with children and you have a penis and you identify as a man, that's on you. That's not like you're harming your children. Don't say that there's not help out there for you when there is.
Or is it that black men are just so sexually attracted to white men that they will just still just prohibit and just allow that all this white power structures to keep them down? I don't know. Yeah, I'm just tired of whatever it is.
Well, they're just gonna go. They'll just go find a white woman to take care of them, because their proximity to whiteness and all that. That's what Cynthia G would say.
I blame it on OJ. OJ's ruined all this stuff.
OJ did it. Yep, it's all.
You kill one white woman, next thing you know, we're just like the bastards
There does seem to be that issue though of people who are oppressed and not acknowledging that another group of people suffer that same oppression. I mean, G-Man does it where he bitches about, black people are oppressed. I'm like, yeah, but you don't treat black women with respect and you don't care about people who are gay. And then also,
he doesn't care about black people. Like, I'm sorry.
I recall when we were in Discord and we were watching some debate between some cis men and trans men. Probably the most transphobic man of the cis ones was a gay man. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? You of all people should know what that's like. So it is an issue that we see. That's what BGL kind of reminded me of. I've seen it with a lot of people.
It's always one of those. I'm sorry, you were saying?
It's like people forget what egalitarianism is supposed to be. That's all.
Right.
No, I totally agree with you. It's one of those, just like with everybody, like with different groups or whatever, especially marginalized groups, that you're like, oh, if I could find somebody lower than me or is hated more than me, like it's basically I have somebody to look down upon, and that's like the weird fucking structure that we kind of have right here anyway. But yeah, all right, let's go.
Well, that's real quick. Why? That's why. Oh, sorry.
No.
That's why conservatives, and not just conservatives, but Democrats too, like the Democratic Party.
Yeah. I have many.
Like the Democrats will talk about socialism all day, but the moment you actually present socialist policy to them, they're like, "Oh hell no!" Because what does socialism do? Now, I'm not trying to advocate for it, but what it does is it makes you forget about race, forget about gender, forget about religion, and look at actual class and who are the owners, who's actually exploiting you. And it gets rid of all that shit. That's why they don't want it around. So that way this divide and conquer bullshit can thrive.
Yeah, no, exactly. I fully agree with that. Thank you. You actually said it way better than what I probably would have said it.
Mission. Omitting these safety, the fact that women have these safety nets that black men don't have. And also admitting the fact that in spite of all this, 3 out of 4 black men still get married to black women, and we still provide and we still do these things. So,
but Dewan, what Cynthia would say is, how come you haven't created your own programs?
I mean, people
they just don't control the government.
I mean, what programs are we talking about though? Like, are you like there's local programs everywhere? Like there's a lot of local programs everywhere. Like, this is the thing I don't get about the vagueness of shit. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, the vagueness, especially talking about black issues, bother the fuck out of me because the vagueness of that shit is so weird. But like, there are stuff like, are you wondering why it's not publicized so much? Like, that's something that you gotta talk about the entertainment industry about. But yes, like, there are people, black men and women, a lot of black women or whatever, with boots on the ground doing shit to try to make their communities better. But like, but this is thing like to try to say, like, you know, by and large, that these people are not doing stuff because you don't see it on TV. That's why I always say it's a fucking like I just basically say, like, yeah, it's just like, since if I don't see it on TV, it doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist.
Or if I don't see it on social media, it doesn't exist.
That's exactly what it is.
I think it's
and if I
interesting.
do see it, it's the only thing that exists.
Yeah, we're Ellen, you know?
Oh no, I was gonna say it's interesting because these people, I know this is a more conservative panel, and yes, security, I agree with you. And so they probably all have some bad thing to say about socialism, but here they are upset about social programs. And Hope earlier, something that Hope said that really stood out to me. She was like, you know, you black men say you want to lead and get help, but when you get help, all you do is like go with your white women and be rich. I'm like, well, isn't that what the capitalist system allows you to do?
Hey, Ellen, I don't mean to interrupt you real quick, but just ask a real question. That's your page link right there that you sent?
Yeah, that's specifically to the video that's got the timer for the statue opening. So through that, you can find my actual channel. But yeah, that's it.
All right, cool.
But yeah, it's interesting how... Yeah, no, I appreciate it. No, thank you. I mean, you let me in here like last minute, so much thanks. Very grateful. It's just interesting to me how here they are saying we want all these programs, but you know, Omar here, since y'all say he's a scammer, I highly doubt he's done anything. And it does happen with a lot of people, not just in the black community, but in other communities. People get rich and they just say, fuck it, I don't care. I'm just going to go live my happy, hunky-dory life and not give a shit about those who are oppressed around me. And we're all guilty of it to some extent. It does happen. But these are the same people bitching about that, bitching about the effects that capitalism has, but they will not criticize capitalism itself.
Exactly. Oh, did you? I don't know if anybody guys realized or watched this shit, but I think about like a week or so ago. All right, this is in here. Is in Alan's channel. I'm about to pin it right here. You guys, yeah, subscribe to Alan's channel, man. But anyways, no, I was about to say, I exactly agree with you because I don't know if anybody has checked it out, but I think about a month or so ago, or within like the past month, Jay-Z got like kind of offended that people called him a black capitalist, and he tries like, no. He's like, no, man, you know, it's like he tried to make it only tied like white people can be capital. I'm like, no, that's what you are. Like, I like your music, don't get me wrong, but that's what you are, man. I was like,
I like his wife. That's what I like. But yeah, he is a total capitalist.
I was like, that's what you're a fucking billionaire, basically. I was like, I think he is. I know Kanye is.
They're up there.
Yeah, I was like,
they're way up there.
Yeah, I was like, you're a fucking capitalist, man. I was like, I understand that you're trying to separate from that, and I'm not saying that you have the views, but he was like, you still share these views with it. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if you're like, you have a problem with fucking socialism as well, because you don't want to pay those extra fucking taxes to help the people that are buying your music or anything like that. But
back in like,
I have to help people buy my music. What?
It's funny you mentioned Jay-Z, because I recall when I was like a huge Jay-Z fan back in the day, I was like taking in his music, and I started to notice he got a little more commercialized, and he made that book Decoded. Well, another author saw his book and he said, I was disappointed in it because all he talked about was the music. He didn't talk about his business acumen. I forgot the name of the author, but he made a book that basically talks about Jay-Z as a businessman. And I looked at it, I was like, wow, this guy's a total capitalist. He can, I mean, yeah, he has his humble beginnings and he can talk about those all he wants in his music, but he's a capitalist. And if that's what you want to be, okay, that's your prerogative, but don't try to act like you're some revolutionary, you know. Take that Che Guevara t-shirt the fuck off, all right? You guys are dead and fucking kill your ass.
Right.
Got him.
Exactly. Oh, this is why I fuck with Alan, man. Right
motherfucker.
Alan has no chill. That's why we all fuck with Alan.
It was like, it's Alan and good old Buck right there that really just made my mind click on, like, yeah, I think I am a leftist over here. Like, when I thought about it, when they started talking to them like 2 years ago, basically. I was like, I just never put a name on like the way I like politically how I felt. and
Sure.
shit. But
Well-
yeah, it's like once I start talking to them and asking them questions and shit like that, like I was like, holy shit, I think that like I lean more like to these type of things and shit like that.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Take the fucking 8 values test. I mean, it's still pretty vague, but it's a lot more nuanced than the compass one. Because if you get like, I got libertarian left, I'm like, okay, well,
Ooh.
Gandhi and Bernie Sanders are both libertarian left, but they're very, very different. Okay, it doesn't.
Right. Oh yeah, I need to check that out then. Yeah, type the name in there in the private chat. And I'm gonna look that up with the actual name of that test again. Thank you.
Yeah,
right.
I'll get it for you.
But that's not a program.
No, I know. I also have a whole program on how to communicate to your children.
Is he drunk?
And how to
No,
communicate to families.
No, he
Because
just
my
got the
thing is
fat
about
cheek.
solutions.
That's all.
Well, you were
I'm
talking about
That's not a
safety
program
nets.
either,
The
bruh.
question becomes, how come black
He
men
got the
haven't
fat
created
cheeks.
safety nets?
Black men, the Nation of Islam created what they can create as far as safety nets goes. Black independent organizations create safety nets for each other all the time. I'm talking about governmental safety nets. We can't go to the United States and say, hey, we need something only for black men because it doesn't exist. There's a whole
nothing
that's a
open to
separate.
black women
That's what
federally.
that's what we were just talking about, Alan. And you guys are saying like this is where it comes down to focus too. And I'm not saying like yes, I would love to see black people, excel in this country, definitely, or whatever. But yeah, it's like it's going to be like, and that's why I started says some people just to even be pragmatic. It will be easier to help out black men and women or whatever, just black community, if you basically just help out everybody with some like social or just
help
make
the
better
community.
safety nets with
Yes.
that. But yes,
Yeah.
and that's where I say like I don't know if it's an American thing or anything, but I almost think it is an American thing. We love recognition and we love and I'm not saying any type of race or anything like that, but everybody loves recognition and we need something solely for that. And like, don't get me wrong, when they came out with the Stop Asian Hate Act, like even during the fucking BLM shit, I was like, yeah, that is kind of fucked up. But it was like, why can't we just have like a thing against like hate crimes? And they finally did something with hate crimes.
Yeah, like a universal rule that applies to all.
Yeah,
Right.
and I was like, and that's something that we had to go against with Republicans and Democrats. About that. But it's like some people are not, it's just not clicking with them, or they try to solve. Oh, I'm sorry.
People don't look at the nuances of these issues. Like, I recall I was watching this lady, some black lady who's like against sex before marriage. She was arguing with Marilyn Manson on Bill Maher. And she was like, what morals do you follow? What morals do you follow? He was like, I follow universal laws that can apply to everyone. And it's funny how this guy's talking about welfare programs and all that stuff. You'll hear Republicans say, well, these welfare programs don't really work. They don't really help out. It's like, I agree. It's not a question of getting rid of them, though. It's a question of how they're being managed.
Exactly.
And people always talk about, good. Sorry.
No, I say a lot of stuff will work if you fund it. Just like when people talk about like, oh, like right now, the water crisis in Jackson, Mississippi. Like Mississippi, I do have a love-hate thing because I spent a lot of years in Mississippi. Yeah. And also I do use Mississippi as like when people try to use Detroit as like, oh, this is Democratic policy or something. I'm like, all right, look at Mississippi. That's one of the most Republican ass states that you could ever be. And it's the most Christian state. It's the most but with that, it's the poorest, the dumbest, and it's like the fattest fucking state or whatever as well. But I was like, I try to tie it in, but like with that water crisis or whatever and stuff like that, and even what we just still have with Flint, because Flint still really doesn't have clean water. They're still trying to like replace the fucking the things with that. The shit will work if we actually fucking fund the shit to make sure that our pipes and everything are probably going to be replaced with the lead or something like that. That's what people complain about always. Like we can do it, but it's too expensive or whatever. I was in the military, but I don't believe that we don't always need to pump so much of our fucking money into that stuff like that too as well. Like we can, like, why can't we, actually kind of like use some of the tax dollars and shit like that to actually help the people that are fucking living in this country? But like nobody has it's like nobody has that sense of community, especially when you just like you think about helping some other people. There's like, I don't like Cynthia G, I don't like Dr. Umar, but I would like for them to not worry about health insurance or whatever. I would like for them, not to worry about like housing and shit like that. Or whatever, but I'm just only one person and then try to talk to them. And like, especially with Dr. Umar or whatever, I don't know about the other people, you're not gonna get that out of him because he's a fucking super like Shiite fucking capitalist. But hey, Hooja buddy, what's up?
Gross. Well, it's so funny how these conservatives, like, I understand on economically, it does make sense that they are for capitalism, but socially, I think no, because they're always talking about traditional family values. You know, the woman stays at home and the children do this and the man has to have this role. I'm like, well, under the economic system, I can pursue any career I want, regardless of my gender. Mm-hmm. There's no limitations. Money is what talks. Everything else is whatever. And they say, oh, I don't like how there's, you know, gays in the media. I'm like, well, if I'm a capitalist and my goal is to make money through movies and television, and I know I have a wide audience of people that are diverse, I'm going to do what I can to appeal to all of them. So that's either by making a character who's gay to have representation, or fire someone who said something fairly racist. So it's like their social values are at war with their economic ones. And that's the big crisis I think that conservatives don't realize they have.
Yeah, man, that's the funniest thing when people try to ask me, because I live, like, Michigan is a pretty Republican state, like, minus, like, you know, there's a few big cities, but, you know, there's a lot of country ass fucking, you know, people out here. It's just, you know, we're in the middle of the Rust Belt and shit too. So, but people are trying, you know, like, you know, very and very religious too, kind of where I work at. But yeah, they're like during Pride Month, they're like, oh, why are these companies trying to appeal to gays? I was like, to make money. And I was like, they're like, oh man, they can't have that much money. I was like, man, let me peep you on this. I was like, when and I was like, Lady Gaga, when she first came out, didn't like her first like 2 to 3 albums were basically the same fucking album. I was like, but she still damn near went diamond on all of them. Why? I was like, one of her main fucking what's the names were the gay community, or like her main like target audience and shit. Like, I was like, they got fucking money. Once those, like, and I don't blame it on her, but I was like, I think once companies realize, like, holy shit, this motherfucker make. Now we have a party. Now John's here. What's up? But I was like, once they found out how much money that you can make off of gay people, like, you're gonna make money. Just like every February they used to have. I don't think they had it in many years, but every February McDonald's would come out with some weird ass fucking like the McRib will come out.
Remember.
They have the Rosa Parks fucking slushy or something like that you could have, or some.
You never know when you're gonna need it. You know,
it tastes like freedom in the back of the bus. Like
in the back of the bus.
Like,
man,
delicious.
I'm still a sucker for McDonald's fries, but I had a Big Mac once, and like some meat got stuck between my teeth, and I took it out, and I noticed a funky smell, and I smelled where my fingers had touched it. It smelled like poop. It was disgusting.
I honestly think, all right, this is before we start playing again. I know this is another tangent thing, but I am got a little bit munchies. Best fries in a fast food place, I think, is Rallies or Checkers.
Rallies, Rallies and Checkers is the shit.
Now this might sound like, never mind. I'm not gonna say it right now because we're already talking about black issues, so I don't want to make it.
Oh yeah, I forgot we were being black. Can we go back to being black? We got to be black.
Yeah, let's be black.
We're supposed to be black right now.
Yeah, go get a tan real quick, Alan.
I like to be light skinned.
Well,
you're not allowed to be light skinned. No, you're not.
Yeah,
allowed.
you know what the weirdest thing about like
you're just bitter about Nova stealing your man. Shut up.
I don't like light skinned hoes. Exactly.
Oh, Alan, she was calling you a hoe.
Same thing.
First off, Nova's not light skinned. She looks like she's just like slapped her whole face on a chalkboard or some shit like that. She's powder.
Exactly. Fuck that bitch. Exactly. Fuck that.
She's about as bright as a halogen light and shit like that. You know?
California, there's a whole universal basic income that only black women can qualify for.
Listen to this
motherfucker. Do you believe that that's because black women came together and said we need a program?
No, the reason why that happens is because the white supremacist plays on this schism within black society, and they give one side greater gifts than the other, and that can lead to infighting. Yes. And then people who don't analyze what's really going on, they're going to see the result and not see the cause and say, what's wrong with black people? That's the government's tricks going on like it's always done. Let's elevate one group over the other and watch these two rascals fight each other. That's what's going on.
Okay, I'm not sure that anything governmental is a gift, though, but hope.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I
really,
think that when we talk about it, a lot of those programs, especially the ones from back in the day, since we are going to do the history thing, were not just made for black women, but black women accessed them because black women were the ones that were in the household that had to take care of whatever was left when the government did steal our black men away, or when black men did fall into the hands of white supremacy. But I also think that the question now is, if you don't see that those things are happening, if we're not seeing those things in influx, then what are the greater black male population doing to enforce that these things happen. When women want things, especially when Black women want things, we get up, we say something, we talk about it, and we're going to talk about it until we're blue in the face and until we get those things done. A lot of the times what I find is that Black men think that they can ride off of those things, and then when things come to pass and they're not put into the game plan, then you're upset. Then it's like, oh, well, we thought we were going to, why? You did none of the work. You sat behind me and you watched me rally and you watched me do all of these things, and then you thought that you were going to benefit from it. And I'm sorry that I left you off, but honestly, when I was doing this work, it was hard to consider you, considering that I have to take care of you regardless in a lot of those spaces. But I also think that hit dogs will holler. If these things do not apply to you, then let's talk about how you
hit dog gonna holler.
I didn't know GUV showed up. All right, ain't nothing against GUV over there, but like, he was the last person I heard this.
Yeah. He's trifling as fuck, ain't she, Nova?
I know what you did when you did it.
Man, this is some shit right here.
Help them to apply to the people that they do and pull those brothers out of the struggle instead of trying to defend something that does not apply to you. If it don't apply, let it fly, and let's figure out how to pull everybody into that fold instead of defending a narrative that you don't even conform to. Why are you so upset?
When I always hear, like, when Dwan, when you were talking about the government subsidies that Black women have, it always makes me think about the movie Claudine with Diane Carroll and James Earl Jones, and you know, him being the trash man and having to hide him in the closet when the people came. So I do believe that it definitely was a setup for a letdown in the Black community. Dr. Umar?
Yes, indeed. One of the problems
that was that dude.
With the conversation, not with you, Tammy, but the responses, they're so individualized. Nothing is being evaluated from a group perspective.
All right, I can kind of give him this. I'm not saying I agree with him, you guys. I can kind of agree with him on this point, because even on him, everybody's been speaking on almost personal points, kind of.
Or a community
Nick, are you being racist?
Or
I feel like you just were racist to me.
I just want to know, why are we letting Black people marry? No,
that's where we all went wrong, folks, right there.
Institutional perspective. The bottom line is anything Black men want to do to liberate ourselves or our community, we can't do it without our women. And anything our women want to do,
I wish he would stop saying our like a possession.
They can't do it with.
Because we are his women. What do you mean? We don't have our own autonomy. We're not allowed to think for ourselves. Without a Black man telling us what to do, we're going to get on welfare and fuck some white man. That's what this whole conversation is about. And you need to get as, you know,
I'm sorry. I was just picturing Hoosier Buddy as Rachel Joel was all. I'm sorry.
I have a job. I know that now that you're single, that you'll probably be fucking a white man for your security soon. But
already did it last night. Yeah,
I know.
I got bills, bitch. I got bills.
Exactly.
Well, fucking what's her name? Hope. She said something to reinforce Omar's sexism. She said earlier, like, when Black men aren't happy, Black women can't succeed.
Yep.
Earlier. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep.
And it's sad because Hope is probably the most progressive out of all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you know what's so crazy about his hair that you brought up, John? Is that he shook his head a couple times. He has some hairspray like a motherfucker in there because those strands are not moving at all. It's like you're trying to, it's like, since Alan's here, it's like playing, it's like having a Fallout hair. That bitch ain't, them shits ain't moving. It's like Lego hair. Hey, Vidal, hey, how you doing?
Fuck Vidal.
Oh, Vidal.
Spying on me being creepy.
She's got an extra powdery one saved up for you.
Come to see you, Otis? They came to see me.
Everybody came to see you, Otis.
This is Tito Canoe.
Without me equals shit.
This is Tito Canoe, and y'all are the Temptations. I love that.
Without
movie.
the men, it is not a competition. It should be a collaboration. But once again, some of us in the conversation are so filled with hatred for the opposite gender that we can never get around to talking about solutions. And it's speaking of clip system,
wait a minute, hold on. I didn't mean to interrupt you, BGL.
Oh yeah, here it comes. I know.
There we go. That's what I was wanting. Here we go with this.
Our women want to do to liberate themselves of the community. They can't do it without the men. It is not a competition. It should be a collaboration. But once again, some of us in the conversation are so filled with hatred for the opposite gender that we can never get around to talking about solutions. And speaking of clips, Sister Tammy, there is one clip you might want to ask Sister Cynthia about, because it was sent to me by about 30 people several months ago, maybe even weeks, where she suggested that women, Black women, should abort their black male fetuses because after birth, they would not contribute to anything worthwhile in the black community. Could you ask her to clarify her comments?
I would
on
love
black
to.
women?
All right, I can't wait for her to say that. But honestly, I'm not trying to side with this nigga. She has said that many a times.
You have said that so many times.
Well,
Black
I would
women
love to too,
needing
but
to
we don't
abort-
have time. So,
God
Dr.
damn it,
Umar,
Tammy.
what I need you to
I'm
do
sorry, I didn't
is
mean to yell.
tell us what you're working on. so
Man,
we can
Tammy,
get
nah,
Tammy.
Tammy, God damn it, Tammy.
She's the worst. Fuck Tammy.
You guys see why that it was annoying me?
I
Hey,
vote Miss Parker takes Tammy's job.
no, BGL.
Oh my
I couldn't be a
God.
better white person than Tammy.
BGL hit me up. She was like, "Hey, this debate thing is going on right now, right?" And she sent me the video. I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna watch it." Within like an hour and a half, I was like, "I'm 15 minutes in. I fucking hate this. I fucking hate the host of this show." That's the only thing I sent to her besides the link to this thing. I was like, "Oh my goodness," but I'm sorry.
Yes, indeed. This
But she's
Saturday
not-
will be the second annual Frederick Douglass Marcus.
Oh god damn it! Now they're
yesterday?
just doing plugs. Now they're just doing
Yesterday?
plugs.
Yeah,
I'm
yesterday.
gonna have to check out Lennon and see if he had it.
The
Yeah.
RBG Family
Oh, I
Festival
said
right
Arby's.
here
I was
at
like, fuck yeah,
601
Arby's.
East 17th Street, Wilmington, Delaware. All free. Come out. We are looking forward to seeing everybody. Go to fdmgfestival.com to register for the free
Tammy has
event.
been
And
fucked.
please
Yeah,
register for my
true.
new online video platform, www.drumar.tv. That's www.drumar.tv.
This nigga got his
And
own
parents who
platform.
need help with their children,
Oh,
special
.tv,
education,
so that's his
ADHD,
own
psychiatric
little
medication,
blog service.
IEP, autism, learning
Oh,
disability,
Jesus.
reach out to me, 215-989-9855.
I don't know why, but I would not like. I don't know why. Like, it's just like if I had a child and they were probably, like he said, autism or something. I don't know why. I don't think that would function well with this. I don't know. I've never seen him interact with like children, or does anybody like probably even?
I would
Yeah, he does.
never.
He does though.
People. Oh my God! People have consultations with him in his mother's closet all the time.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Look, he said, "Does Stacey Dash have a father?" I hope she like eventually she does. Oh, you know she was in a movie about Roe versus Wade like a couple years back, like a very I think it was made by the Catholic Church, something like that. It was hilarious. But this is their plugs or whatever. But this is all I kind of had for this for the show. But let's just go around and ask you guys' final thoughts. I know we paused a lot or whatever, but I'll go around the room and ask everybody's final thoughts of kind of what
Is there a war on black men?
We'll start with BGL. BGL.
Is there a war on black men?
Yes.
Wait a minute. What the fuck? Wait, you being Tammy now? I will kick you out right now if you want to be Tammy.
There is a war on black men.
On YouTube.
All right.
If they're
Ms. Martin,
cows.
what do you think about this whole debate or whatever? Like, really, nobody won. This was
There's
fucking
nothing
horrible.
to win, right? Like there ain't
Because they
shit to win
hate
in this
black
conversation.
men.
Black men are under attack because they sold black women into slavery. So this is called payback, bitches.
But I just
That's
feel
what
like
it is.
I just feel like none of like. Oh, I'll say my thing at the end. I'm sorry, Alan.
Oh yeah. Is there a war on black men? Just like there's a war on everyone else in this country that is a lower class or middle class citizen or is rich but doesn't toe the line to the owners. It's just a divide and conquer strategy. It's distracting us from the bigger picture. So that's why we got these 5 dumbasses arguing with each other when they really should be looking at the owners who are exploiting them. But then again, Dr. Omar here, well, not really a doctor, fuck you, wants to be the exploiter. So he's part of the problem.
Beautifully
He's
said.
part of the problem.
Beautifully said. Yeah. Like my thing is like this was like luckily I'm not like a debate person or whatever because I feel like a lot of like online debates, not like good portion of them are just like performance things, and this was one of them too as well because nothing was really kind of like they really didn't even hone down to one fucking point really at all. This whole thing, this was kind of a waste of time. Like I did enjoy just having these two like the immovable object versus like the unstoppable force meet up with each other. But like I've said this joke again, I mean a couple times, but I always feel this way when I watch like Cynthia G versus like some dude, I don't agree with. It just feels like I'm a child and I'm watching my parents that are going through a fucking divorce, and I'm just watching them and they're arguing about who wants to have me, and I'm just like, I'd rather stay with grandma. Like, honestly, like that's
Please
the way
send
I
me
feel
to a
about it.
foster home.
Because like all of them want to, like, it feel like all the people that are out there were just really pointing fingers, not really pointing the finger at the main issue, basically what you were saying too. What was it, like Hoosier Buddies, that the main issues that we weren't that there weren't enough white people on the panel to talk about the war on black men. I thought representation was important. Hey, yo, I would have loved Greg Gutfield up in here. He would have agreed like a motherfucker. Yeah, I do believe that black people are a sickness to this place. And I'm gonna say, I don't know, I'm gonna put on this horse mask. Like, I don't know what he does. I don't know. He's very unfunny. But I would first like to say thank you to BGL, thank you to Miss Parker, and thank you to Alan for showing
Thank
up.
you for having me.
Oh, thanks for having me totally last minute. It was totally unplanned. And I will
I
say
don't even
what I
like
found,
you, nigga.
Well,
whatever, I don't care. Anyway,
Either.
what I found so amusing about this stream is that these are all like conservative black people, and they are talking about like, they didn't say a word about like the Democratic plantation. No, they were bitching about welfare and shit, how they hate it and how they also want it. So that was pretty amusing.
Yeah, I you don't know how bummed I was when I was trying to because like for the opening I was gonna do more in depth into Fox Soul, and I thought it was gonna be something like Fox Nation, like their app,
yeah,
or something like that. And I was like, oh, this is gonna be like black fucked up shit. They probably might even have Don Borgino in here talking about how it's good to shoot black kids or some shit like that. Like, I thought it was gonna be some weird shit, but no, not really, not yet. It's still young. But I mean,
they have once they. The thing is, this panel didn't have Candace Owens on. That's why I didn't really go down that route.
That is the weirdest thing. Like, I was like, damn, like I thought Candace Owens definitely had a show on here. I need to cover that one day. I'll probably bring all you guys back to torture you guys again. We might have to go down. I might have to sacrifice like $14 and get
the membership from
Daily Wire, so I can get the Candace Owens show. So we can all torture, like, and that's one person I really fucking hate, because man, there ain't no bigger black grifter than that motherfucker right there. But yeah, we're gonna just go into the end song here. But
the end
I sent this
It's
song.
gonna be He's Black.
Did I say song like that? Oh, that's very weird.
No, just kidding.
Oh, it was like, but it's one. But it's a song from from one of my I think the best video game series of all time, and it's sang by somebody. I sent this to Miss Parker one time, and I'm not gonna like, if you remember who this person is gonna be singing, don't say who it is, because I'm gonna ask people real quick. All right, this is Snake Eater, well, by Metal Gear Solid 3, with a big band version with Tiffany Mann. Tiffany Mann's the singer. I'm gonna let her sing, but I just want to say, does anybody know that name or the last name Mann?
I know Tiffany Mann.
You do? You guys do? All right, so nobody else does. All right, let me just stop this real quick. I just want to say, no, she's the daughter of two actors that eventually in here. So, like, wait a minute, 1 second. I want you to see the parents of Tiffany Mann. Right here, Mr. Brown and Cora. From
That's
Tyler
the
Perry.
last name. Yep, the last name Man. I was like, that name sounds familiar.
Shit. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. But once you see her, you're gonna be like, oh, definitely, yeah, they're really. But beautiful voice, beautiful fucking voice. I think you guys will enjoy this song. And thank you guys, everybody, for showing up. I probably might be doing like, I know I got from my. Oh, wait a minute. Go around, you guys, while I get ready to play the video. Plug your guys' stuff. We'll start with BGL.
Yeah, next time you invite Miss Parker, tell her to be here an hour earlier so she'll be on time.
Okay. Miss Parker?
All right. I would just like to say BGL is out here stealing people's men. She stabs white people in the back all the time. She's Tragic's best friend.
I keep white people on a rant.
I thought it. Can I speak? Can I speak?
No. Can I finish?
Hold on. No, I'm sorry. I just wanted to say it.
But I'll see y'all later on tonight. I'm gonna do a late night stream, and yeah, you guys know where to find me. I don't have to plug nothing. I don't want y'all in my stream anyway. Don't show up.
Alan. I'm sorry for keep on calling you that. Should I just call you Luciferian American?
No, I don't mind being called Alan. Luciferian is just my channel name. It's as y'all can tell, I'll plug it this way. My channel, Luciferian American Backslib, that's obviously a play on words, like buzzwords that the far right religious call me.
Mm-hmm.
It was coined by my friend Ami, who's the girlfriend of Lady Hopium. My channel consists of a few lolsy shit and some nerdy stuff. So for those of you who like Tolkien and also like to watch me belittle G-Man with my dad voice, my channel's the place to go. It's in the chat. I might do a stream where I'm just dusting off my other statues, depending on how many people show up. But other than that, on Wednesday, the new Sauron statue from Sideshow Weta, the guys who worked on the films, is arriving. So I'll be unboxing that shit. So I'm quite excited for it.
Yeah, I'm about to go on a binge thing and catch up on a lot of your stuff too as well, because I've been working a lot and I've been seeing that you've been posting a lot of stuff. So I know I'm gonna check that stuff out. So make sure you guys check it out too.
He's lying. He's gonna watch Roadhouse after this.
Well, no, I can't watch Roadhouse without Buck. It's not the same.
And also, folks, be sure to like and subscribe to Tita right here.
Oh, why? Thank you.
Yes, like the stream.
Yeah, and I say for me, I got the next other 2 days off. I don't have to go back and work until Wednesday. Maybe I'm trying to work with Nova. We got once again I said we got a movie review of Jim Cotta, and there's a couple other ones I want to do. There's one with Miss Parker. I kind of told her about it, but I want one to do with her movie review with her. I also gonna do the book review of Ashita, the Enamorous Adventures of Ashita Kim. I'm gonna be doing that pretty soon. I'm gonna be working on that. And fuck Yato. That's all I really want to say.
Fuck you, Yato.
Also,
yeah, and say also let Black Guy TV let Black Guy TV know that he looks like the black guy from This Is Us, and we're gonna leave out with this song. But thank you guys so much for being here. Hopefully you guys had some laughs. I know it wasn't the most funniest thing.
I didn't learn
it was
a goddamn thing.
Oh, I didn't say that you had to learn shit. You're not
Okay.
gonna learn shit on my channel.
All right, I just wanted to make sure you knew I didn't learn a goddamn thing.
Well, that's why I brought Alan in. It's like he's supposed to teach us.
Were you sipping on your apple juice this whole time, Miss Parker? The finest of squeezed apples.
Well, you know. Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Parker. You don't know the Latin phrase. Cubans entertain, Mexicans educate. No,
oh my god! Holy shit! Whoa! Jesus Christ!
Oh my god!
Is this a podcast from 2013?
Yes.
Oh,
you're here with Stink Crotch and the boys.
Yes.
But yeah, check this out though. I always love some good instruments too.
Let's go.
Hey man, if you guys are still around, let me know what your favorite video game theme song is. I don't know. Do something.
Earthworm Jim.
Holy shit, we need to talk
was
about
that
games
Angel
then.
Fate on the drums?
Oh, I need to get Hoosier Buddy. Hoosier Buddy, you want to be a ghost on that? A guest on?
Yes.
On that, man?
Yes, he does.
Oh man, because he knows about Jim Cotta. I love that movie.
Oh yeah, she looks just like her mama. Just dark-skinned version.
Man, I'll marry her right now.
Thanks
That
for
is
saying that
beautiful
for
voice.
Yeah, she's got it. Her little cute stuff. Tell me she don't look like a big old toddler though.
What is
black
up with
people
you?
get fat, because when black people get plump, they start looking like babies to me. It's fucking
Wait,
adorable.
wait. Hold on. All right, I'm not.
Okay, listen. What I'm saying is just.
Have you not
just
seen
listen to what I'm
Evangelist Ken? Have you seen Ken Jones? Have you seen G-Man's homeboy? That name?
Yes, but Ken Jones doesn't
Like
have.
Monty
He has
T.
those dark circles, right? Like he got those weird dark circles under his eyes.
That's the
'cause he needs to drink
diabetes
some
eyes.
water. Yeah, he got them diabetes eyes. What I'm saying, like, she looks like a toddler, and then like when you look at other like chunky black and brown people, like they look like gigantic toddlers. They're just cute as shit in the face because they got the baby face. Here's the thing: when it gets wrong, when white people get big like that, they just look like eggs, and I don't know why.
Wait, why you?
I don't know why that is.
Their skin also gets very disgusting.
Yeah, like when if Shani was to pull her hair back, she just looks like an egg. Same thing with all the other fat white folks. They just look like eggs.
I don't
But
know.
fat brown
I think
people
she
look
probably,
like
Oh my
She
god.
looks like the manatee. She like, I don't know. She kind of looks like the manatee mermaid that Willem Dafoe was fucking in the movie The Lighthouse.
I can't.
Like,
It's
like,
You said manatee, and I immediately thought Brett Keane.
oh man, he is a manatee. I forgot about that. Yeah.
But you're so supreme.
I feel like climbing a ladder right now. Somebody will get that. Oh, the ladder.
Not for honor, but
Oh, John, say what you need to say about video games, man. Go ahead.
It's the way I fly to you. I'm still
All right.
in a dream.
I'm not the only one with an erection right now, right? Am I?
Oh no, I got a hard one. It's making me hard.
That bean is hard as shit. Uncooked.
I got a lady boner over here. Raging.
Someday you feel on a tree frog. It's a trial to survive.
I don't have a hard on. I'm already
You don't have the heart on it?
Oh yeah, I came the moment I saw her. That's what it was. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to disrespect her. I'm just stupid.
No, you're all good, man. You're my boy, man. Oh, who's your buddy walking around at work with a boner? Yeah, exactly. That game was basically about James Bond. Man, I need to marry this woman.
Okay then, go on then with your bad ass.
Brought it to church. Thank you guys for showing up. You guys have a nice
Now
night.
get out. Bye. It's over. The show's over. Go. Bye.
Yeah, get out of here. What are you doing? Still doing here? Lurking ass niggas.